Hello, hello, baby. You come and hit me with a thing. Oh, new phone, who's this? Oh, Troy. Ugh. Welcome to
Rude.
another new episode of the Guest Spotlight. We haven't been here in like, what, 3 months? We already got
Something like
rebooted
that.
and grabbed by Fox, like Last Man Standing.
Hey, no, we didn't, because I'm still poor. Sorry.
Oh, that's right.
I wish, unless we struck a deal for no money, which is pretty poor if you ask. We should have probably asked for a little bit.
Does that mean we
And
have to have two great thirds of the beginning and then a really shitty ending? If
Yes.
we're owned by Disney?
Oh no, I hope not. But to be fair, I would rather start well than end well.
That's
Hey,
then
don't
you
say,
got-
don't say nothing against my overlord Disney. I just visited headquarters yesterday.
I want to do, because Star Wars opens up soon, right?
Yes.
That's what I'm looking for.
In one of the rides, we saw they're already like half done. We saw like the construction on it.
Oh shit, that's awesome. But anyway, welcome everybody. We have two usual regular guests on today. You know them, you love them, Mr. Nolan Dean and Jason Mickey. Thank you guys for joining us. It's been a while.
Yeah,
I was gonna
good to
say,
be back on.
me and Jason have known each other like on the Twitterverse for like a year, but we've never actually like talked in person. So
Yeah,
Oh, no?
this is the first time.
Oh,
awesome.
cool.
yeah, I think you commented on one of like my early video essays before it became Stories as Lessons.
Yeah, I think it was the Spider-Man 2 one on Doc Ock. actually.
Everyone's talked about that one. Like even people I don't know have like shown me that video like in public.
Yeah,
like,
it was
our
either
comic
that
book
one or the
stories.
one on Jaws.
That's cool.
That was my first one.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2 is still the best superhero movie for me.
I agree with Raul. It's my favorite one.
It's the worst, actually. Tobey
yeah,
get
Maguire's
out.
garbage.
Oh yeah, I know you hate Tobey Maguire.
Well,
I don't know.
well,
I-
let me text my friend Ryan Coogler to be my co-host.
Oh, okay, let me just text Christopher Plummer then. Give me a second. Also, it makes more sense because Hollywood's all about whitewashing, so sorry, man.
Damn.
And we're back. So let's just jump right into it. I know we have tons to go into. I don't fucking know where to start. You want to just start with Comic-Con, Raul, since you were there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with Comic-Con. I'll give the floor to you. Go kind of into your experiences, some of the cool shit you got to go through. I have a list of all the news that came out, so we can kind of, briefly go through that. But it's all on you because I'm super excited to hear about how your time was.
Okay. Number one, Comic-Con was a little like meh compared to other years because not a lot of things happened. But we got really cool previews, even though I was not at the DC panel because I was like, hell no, I'm not gonna do the line for DC ever again. I'm not gonna go in. And so, but I went to meet Alex Hirsch again. He signed me the graphic novel and he signed me my Gravity Falls Blu-ray. So
Did he sign his restraining order? That he has.
No, not yet.
Probably should.
Alex, I love you. Marry me.
I'm still jealous you got to meet him though. Did you guys get to talk a little bit, or was it kind of just they push you through?
Yeah, super quick because it's like he's doing a signing and
Right.
you're in a line. It's like 30 seconds. And
That's
like
still-
there's a
that's
guard. You can notice there's a guard like guarded by Disney. He was like, "No, you have to go like this quick." Like I was like, "Why? Let him talk." And I'm like, I wanna give him my pitch for the sequel. And then also talking about Alex Hirsch, he has an exclusive deal now with Netflix. He's gonna make movies and TV shows, and I'm like, yes. Remember, Troy, a year ago I told you Gravity Falls sequel for Netflix. R-rated, PG-13.
I want him to do new stuff though.
I know.
Like you were saying, like, okay, since he's gonna be with Netflix, let's get Del Toro and him to do an animated show together, because Box Trolls is fantastic, Gravity Falls is fantastic. Seeing them collab would be insane. Everyone's with Netflix now, though.
Yeah,
Like,
they can do like a kind of like a Goosebumps, Twilight Zone kind of show. That I just imagined that. Yeah. So going back to Comic-Con, I met a woman that she was dressed as a pork, and I knew she was a woman because she added me on Instagram because she noticed her photo with me. She was dressed everything like a pork. She had the sounds like a pork, and I love it because people were theorizing that pork was Ryan Johnson, and there she was like, "No, I am. It's not Ryan Johnson as a pork."
No, Ryan Johnson probably showed up like as the jar of milk from the tits. Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's another thing on rewatch of Last Jedi that just instantly killed it for me. I was just like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to continue watching this.
No, if I were Ryan Johnson, I would dress as one of those horses for Canto Bite.
Were those horses? I thought they were like camel things. So,
I have no idea
whatever.
Canto Bite
I don't
looks
know
a lot like Dubai. Like,
yeah.
I swear that place was inspired by Dubai.
He should have just
And
just cosplayed as like Kylo Ren. I just want to see Ryan Johnson like with the scar and the lights. And he can go fight all the fucking people that hate Last Jedi.
Oh my God! But if I were Ryan Johnson, I wouldn't even dare to go because he will get massacred.
Yeah, he would. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
I wonder if he would even be there at the next Star Wars celebration, or if he'd just not even go, because I'd imagine it'd be a whole lot of boo.
God.
And I'm not even praising that idea. I think it's awful.
Yeah, right. No, I'm sure.
Also, other Comic-Con stories. I didn't get into the Steven Universe panel. No, Troy. I'm surprised that the fandom is that big. There was like 7,000 people making a line to get into that panel, and that panel only fitted like 2,000 people.
It wasn't in Hall H then, right? Where?
No, it was at the Hilton next door.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, if the fandom is so big, why they didn't do a Hall H panel?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and so seeing so many people my age cosplaying as Steven, at the diamonds, as the gems, it was pretty cool.
I didn't know they let senior citizens into Comic-Con.
Well, they let him in, but they do in like the security office. They have his picture just in case he's around any kids. They just kind of keep an eye on him.
Yes, my photo's next to Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
I was just making a crack about his age. You brought up that, buddy.
I know. I just wanted to do I just wanted to throw a punchline.
I need to know some gossip though. Like, did you get to go to any parties? Because I know Comic-Con parties can get pretty wild. Were you invited to any parties?
Were you kicked out of any parties?
I didn't get invited to any parties. The guy that I know that he goes to a lot of parties, he technically disappeared. And I'm like, thank you, Pablo. I wanted to go to a party. I was like,
he had a party to go to, though.
He didn't sneak me in. I was like, he owes me one from 2 years ago because I sneaked him in a party 2 years ago. And so then, what was the other thing? Oh, we get to the big thing, Glass. I was a little disappointed that they only show us the trailer. Like, they didn't show us like any more scenes. But still, I was totally fanboying. I was crying seeing that trailer. I was a little angry that it got released so quickly online by Universal.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I'm not mad because we all got to see it.
I know, but that trailer...
Talking about things going away now.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, I'm surprised they haven't leaked that Halloween scene that they show us.
They don't really need to. I mean, Halloween's getting enough good buzz as it is.
Yeah.
I know, but that scene,
Especially that scene in the trailer with the teeth in the in the bathroom stall. Like even that alone is like, okay, they know what they're doing.
No, that scene in the new trailer, you see Michael walking through a neighborhood and going to different houses.
I had shivers.
In the Comic-Con preview, it was
Isn't it
that
like 5
whole
minutes?
scene. Yeah, it's like 5 minutes.
That's like classic John Carpenter right there.
Oh yeah,
like, even in that trailer though, like when the camera like follows him into that garage and goes towards the hammer. That's okay. I have a question. Do you get to see him actually kill that mom?
Yep.
Wait, it's in camera?
Yep.
I don't know how I feel about
I heard
that.
I heard that like with the reviews of the movie, like I've heard that
You don't see it like so graphically. You see it in a really nice way.
So it's not like zombie going nuts on camera.
No, not in that, not in that vibe.
Okay.
Like my favorite part of that scene is when I was gonna say Jason, Michael is walking, and then he sees a woman heading to her car, and like Michael starts thinking, like, do I kill this one or not? And then he's walking to the last house. And then you see a woman lowering a curtain, and you see Michael walking in. We're already with the knife that she grabbed from the old lady, the first one that she killed. And then the woman is like this, checking the window, and Michael pulls the knife through her neck like this.
That's awesome. I cannot wait for this movie, man.
Whole neck opening, and the woman like this.
Oh,
You know what's gonna make this the best for me is like, the time Halloween comes out in the UK, I'm gonna be in Manchester with Morgan Robinson, and we're gonna see that together.
Hell yeah, dude! Like not only that though, for me, it's like I heard like even with the reviews that just came out that it's funny. Like,
well, Danny
there's
McBride,
humor.
That implied.
But Halloween has never really been funny. And like I'm intrigued.
Unintentionally funny with Busta Rhymes.
Oh, right. Right. I forgot about that.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
I still need to see that movie.
It is so ridiculous.
Hey, also we started off Comic-Con, but during Comic-Con, James Gunn got fired. We should talk about that.
Boy. Yes, I'm with Nolan. Boo!
Didn't a lot of like white people already talk about this? Like a lot of people already talk about this. Why don't we need to bring it up?
We don't have to go into like depth, but like quickly, like your quick thoughts. It sucks. Who do you want to direct? And if you say Taika Waititi, you're gonna get kicked off the show.
I would never say that. Like I respect Taika Waititi a ton. I respect him a lot, but yeah, I am in the minority. I really don't like Thor Ragnarok and his style of comedy, especially in the way that it's shown in Thor Ragnarok. It doesn't work for something like Guardians of the Galaxy. His movies are very much more satirical and almost parodies, whereas Guardians of the Galaxy's sense of humor is much more sincere and heartfelt. It's very earnest. It's not like this 2-hour-long parody.
Yeah,
so bringing him on would just be kind of disrespectful to the first two, I feel.
That day in Comic-Con, I think it was like at 6:30, there was gonna be a James Gunn panel at College before the Spider-Verse panel. And then they canceled it because that news happened on the same day when they fired him from Disney.
I love how Marvel wanted to avoid Comic-Con this year, and then that happened.
Yep.
I mean, like, I have nothing against Taika Waititi. I actually personally like Thor Ragnarok. I agree with Jason, like, your points of saying, like, I don't think the humor would work in Guardian. Like I've been doing a lot of thinking about it. Like obviously Gunn won't be coming back. If anything, I can see him doing projects for DC and their new whatever the fuck universe they're calling it.
Yeah, like I was watching John Campia's movie vlog or whatever, and he was like, someone was asking him if there's a chance that he might be working on the Flash movie or something like that. But which,
hey, that would be cool. That would be cool. In theory, I think that would be cool.
You know which directors will be perfect, but even though they have a bad relationship with Disney, Lauren Miller will be perfect for Guardians of the Galaxy.
You know who I have two picks. I think it either should be Kurt Russell, because he's really good with Disney. He's been with Disney since he's a kid. He's a good director. I think he could come back, obviously, because his character's dead, come back, maybe hone a weird kind of Kurt Russell type film, or get Bradley Cooper. Look at what the Lady Gaga movie. Too. Look at what the Lady Gaga movie.
He just does the voice. He doesn't do the motion capture.
And so I feel like if anyone could do it out of the Guardians, it could be him. But let's just keep them dead. Like, that's how I think we're at now. I think there's just keep them dead.
I feel that's kind of disrespectful, too. Like, having them just go like a fart in the wind at the end of Infinity War. It's just kind of...
That's the point of Infinity War, though. That everyone's lost. So if they
still,
just stuck with that...
If they bring back, like, Spider-Man and Black Panther, again, that's kind of... You just dig a deeper hole for yourself by leaving Guardians dead.
Because they set up that Warlock thing in Guardians too. I've heard rumors that they're going to pull that into Captain Marvel now.
Oh my god!
That's what I would do. But here's what I would do. Like, if they're going to do Guardians of the Galaxy 3 still, which I imagine they will, because Guardians makes them so much money.
Right.
Yeah, they love money. Just the director that I would pick is someone that has actually worked with Chris Pratt quite recently, and the movie that they did together made a ton of money at the box office. Not that great critical reception, but ton of money, and fans enjoyed it. And that is Juan Antonio Bayona, who did Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. Because he's a guy who knows how to do a visually stunning movie, as well as have a very earnest, heartfelt tone, and still manage to have some pretty decent humor.
I'm a huge J. Bayona fan.
I think that's pretty smart. That would be awesome. Because
also, technically, there hasn't been a Mexican or Latin American or a Latino director in the MCU, so I approve this.
Yeah, I mean, that's great, because when you said that, I just like even the comparison of family in the Guardians films to sorry, I'm pointing to the poster on my wall. I have a Fallen Kingdom poster. The family relationship with the daughter and everything in that film. I think that would be a great choice. I would like that.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that Chris Pratt is like just going up to Disney like, hey, just pick this guy. He's really good. Just at least have a meeting with him. See what ideas he has.
Yeah.
But I've heard that they've had a meeting with Antoine Fuqua for something as well, who's also worked with Chris Pratt in...
Oh, yeah, the Western. Yeah.
Interesting.
I have a feeling what's going to happen is Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck from Captain Marvel are going to end up getting it.
I wouldn't hate that either. I with the pictures of Captain Marvel that just came out, I like the tone and like just the visuals of that so far. So,
because Disney will just want to make it as quietly as possible.
Well, and I'm hoping that we have a cameo in Captain Marvel when she's on the air base, on the airfield or whatever. I think that would be the perfect time to introduce Johnny Storm. I don't think we will get it, but that would be so cool, I think. Because in the comics,
I don't think we're gonna get any X-Men or Fantastic Four cameos until 2020 at the earliest.
That's in 2020 is such a like
post-credit scene, maybe.
I could see that too, maybe. Yeah, it all depends on what they want to do. If they, man, can you imagine how fun it would be right now to like see what we have in the Marvel universe? I mean, like okay, now how are we going to put the X-Men and Fantastic? Like, that's the funnest job someone could have, trying to figure that out. Like,
it'd be a fun job, but not one I'd like to have.
No.
That's fair.
Because for one, X-Men, that would be so freaking hard, because it's not like Fantastic Four, which you could just easily bring in, because nobody liked the previous versions. I mean, maybe a small amount of people, but the mass audiences kind of just never really cared about Tim Story's or Josh Trank's versions. So with Fantastic Four, you can just come in right out of the gate and say, here, this is this new improved Fantastic Four from Marvel Studios this time. Get people interested. But with X-Men, it's much harder, because there's a massive fan base for those Fox X-Men movies.
Yeah.
So trying to reboot that, they're going to have a hell of a time getting fans behind them on that.
Well, and especially with just how good Deadpool 2 was. Like, any thing that Disney does that's different for the X-Men universe, I think will just, like, over time we'll be comfortable with it, but it's going to be just very weird at first, just seeing the integration into the Marvel universe. But
yeah,
we're just lucky to be able to be talking about this. Like,
yeah, I do have
possibility of it happening.
I do have one brief pitch though. Because I said if they were to make Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I actually hope they don't, and they just have their team story end in Avengers 4. Like, give them a good send-off there, because they're doing reshoots right now, I believe.
Well, Dave Bautista is not too happy about
Yeah. So just give them a really good out in Avengers 4, and then the actors who do want to come back, bring them back in other movies. Like, bring the characters back in like other movies, kind of like how they did Hulk and Thor Ragnarok.
Like
that.
Okay, but how about this, right? We're talking about like more diversity and stuff. Let's get Ava DuVernay come in, make a Valkyrie film. The last time we saw her, the Thor ship has been exploded. You could say she could have crashed in Wakanda or something.
Could do a Revengers movie or something.
Right. Like, have a Valkyrie film. I think you could do something like that. But, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to see... I like that idea, though.
Yeah. For X-Men, I thought they could do it like Harry Potter. Like, have the X-Men be, like, the professors, and then just have a bunch of students as, like, new X-Men we've never seen before.
Yeah, I would actually have focus on the smaller X-Men, yes, because we've had too much focus on Wolverine for 17 years.
Yeah.
And like, I think if they said it so that he was like more of a professor in the school, like Nolan, like you were saying, having an older actor like that's older than Hugh Jackman will help us get that distant. You know, like, it wouldn't be like Han Solo, where it's like a younger dude that isn't really like him, but it is. It's like, okay, we can have an older, kind of wiser.
You could have Wolverine be like the Hagrid.
I actually would just not even have Logan's version of Wolverine in there at all.
unless they do, like, have X-23 as one of the students.
That's actually my idea, because I would actually have X-23 come in a sequel later down the line, and you could have Easter eggs to Logan maybe in flashbacks or something. But I think because of how iconic Hugh Jackman's performance is, we need to do something very different. And X-23.
Hey, let's cast Will Smith.
Oh my god.
Oh god, no! I love Will Smith to bits, but he's not Wolverine.
I just like that sentence. Will Smith is Wolverine.
I feel like Fantastic Four is going to lean into the cosmic side that Marvel wants to do now.
Yes. That's also actually one I could see Taika Waititi doing, is Fantastic Four.
I want Matthew Vaughn. Matthew Vaughn is my choice. I think he would make an incredible Fantastic Four film. And I would, like, if they're going to cast Herbie, they better get Bill Hader to do that voice.
As long as they don't get Peyton Reed to do Fantastic Four.
Hey, Nolan, we're going to talk about that, because I actually have the opposite opinion that you did about Ant-Man and the Wasp. So
I think it's okay.
I thought it was fine. I hated it the first time.
I loved it.
I was okay.
It's in my top 10 Marvel film.
Oh, I'm
Troy,
in the water.
I don't think me and Troy have ever disagreed on something. So,
well, okay, so like actually before we kind of segue into that, then Raul, what were some kind of last minute Comic-Con last things, or do we just move on?
Well, also Comic-Con got a little sad because the John Schnepp died also on that same Friday also.
Yeah, that was.
he was one of the best members of the nerd community. Always wanted to include everybody. He was never elitist. He was never mean or like egotistical. Schnepp was just a great guy. And
Yeah.
Actually, I
didn't even know much about him, but he really seemed like the type of person in the nerd and geek community that I would just love to hang out with and have a conversation with, because he wasn't like a total douche like a lot of ones you'd find on Twitter.
So I'll tell you guys a quick story actually about that, because I'm glad you mentioned that, Raul. So 2016 rolls around. My dad and I are like walking up to the convention center to San Diego Comic-Con for the first time. I was shedding a tear walking up, because I've seen it so much in YouTube videos and like just the sign outside the building of like, holy shit. Like for me, it was like, I'm at Comic-Con. This is unreal. Soon as I walk in, the first fucking thing I see, I look to the left in the convention center. This is during everyone setting up. This was the Thursday. I look over, and the first person I see was John Schnepp. And he's standing there with Holly. And I look at my dad, I'm like we just got here. And I'm like, I told my dad, I'm like, he's an idol. He's an icon. Like, that is, for the geek culture, Schnepp has done so much for us. And he ended up at a booth talking to some people, so I didn't bother him. I was creeping him a bit, and I like, oh, holy shit, he's so tall. Like, I was like, holy crap. But later in the day, I ended up running into him and Makuga and Campia like on the convention floor, and we talked a bit. But it's like my first memory of Comic-Con is Schnepp, and that's just really it's touching that it kind of came full circle. But I'm like still really devastated about it all.
I love the team that assembled for Collider Heroes as well, like with Coy and Amy and all those people. I've listened to Collider Heroes a lot recently. After the John Schnepp thing, and even like going back now, the dude was so passionate, and I love that he never really cared about the whole Marvel versus DC bullshit. He embraced it all. Like, I think that's something we should all try and do.
And also for me, I didn't know a lot about Schnepp. Like, I only knew him from Collider Nightmares. Yeah, but I was a big fan of Collider Nightmares. I still miss that show a lot, and seeing Schnepp talking about horror, that's the thing I love the most. Like the way that he was so funny, and then I got to see the Den of Superman, his documentary.
Yeah, such a good documentary.
Yep, and I only knew Schnepp twice. But I didn't get the chance to talk to him because he was always busy. Like the first time was in that 2 years ago when I met you, Troy, in that Collider meetup. He was ordering a drink, and I told him, hey, can we take a photo? And so quickly I was like, we took a photo and that's it. And the second time I saw him when I saw the room, with Tommy Wiseau, he was there with Holly, and I only say hi to him so quickly because he was running back with Holly, and he was buying a Suspiria shirt. And the third time was the day that I went to see Infinity War. Me and Jenny were in Amoeba. It's like a record store.
Yeah.
And he was checking a lot of records and DVDs and Funkos, and we didn't bother him. He was like kneeling down on the floor, checking everything. I'm not
like that was me when I saw him at Comic-Con. Because like I know it's kind of like it's like that's him in his prime. Like, he's looking through shit. Like it's like like that's where it started, and you got to witness that. So that's awesome. Yeah, man, I'm gonna miss him. And like also, we should pay our respects also to Holly, how strong and just how she's been dealing with the whole situation. I sent her all my love and prayers. Hope that she has the people around her that she needs to support her through this time, right? So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also before, I think it was like before 5 p.m. They show like a lot of trailers, and the first trailer they showed was Snap's documentary, and a lot of people were like, "We love you, Snap!" A lot of people were screaming and applauding and everything, and we everybody knew already like for like 2 3 hours about his passing. So that was a pretty cool moment. And the guy that started the screaming was my friend Patrick, that I know him here from Collider. So that was
Yeah,
pretty
Patrick.
cool.
That's awesome. Well, let's give a moment of silence because I think it's only right, and then we'll come back and go through some of these movies that we missed in the last little bit.
Mm.
Okay, so let's talk about Hereditary because I love it.
Before we start with the movies, because can we only nerd out about Glass for like 2 minutes?
Okay, yeah, sure, we should do that.
It looks
Okay.
like the artist's version of a shared universe, and I love that.
Yes. I love because the first one the first one was really like a commentary on just on the mythos of superheroes in general, but that was very early on whenever superhero movies weren't really a big thing yet. I mean, all we had was really Superman and Batman. And then of course like X-Men, but then Split came around at the point whenever the cinematic universe has become a really big deal, and it was very much like Iron Man, how you didn't know it was part of a cinematic universe until it ended in like a credit sequence with it being connected to the first Unbreakable movie, and then this new one is supposed to be pretty much a commentary of how like the superhero movies are becoming like a growing field, as like the psychiatrist says. So it's like just really clever stuff. It's very much like how Wes Craven did with the Scream movies, being commentaries on how ridiculous the slasher genre has become.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because that was my biggest comparison too. It's like this feels like it's going to be the coolest superhero movie, even though it's not really a superhero movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the fact that he was able to make a universe in secret like that, and like Split's fantastic. You know, like I consider that one of the coolest horror movies and like one of the coolest performances in the last little bit. But with the trailer, I think the thing that no one really talks about as much is like aesthetically, this movie looks incredible. The cinematography in that trailer and some of the colors they use, like that big pink purplish room, like just everything looks great. And Bruce Willis looks like he's not phoning it in, which is pretty much like a miracle at this point.
Yeah, the last time I saw him giving a good performance was probably Luther.
The Roast of Bruce Willis. He was really good in that. I don't know if you guys watched it.
I did.
So fucking great.
Yeah.
At the end,
It's
he's
so
like,
good.
"Die Hard's not a Christmas movie; it's a fucking Bruce Willis movie."
And I'm like, okay, fine. Like it's still a Christmas movie, but I get what you're saying, man.
I saw a clip whenever Edward Norton was saying something about how he was fired from the Incredible, like how he was fired from Marvel because he just demanded a better script.
Yeah, I believe
so that was like, yeah, I believe
Incredible
it too.
Hulk is him just running. There's nothing to that movie.
Like it's not the worst movie. It's better than the previous Hulk movie, but
I think the Abomination stuff is really cool.
Yeah, I think visually it's cool. I like that.
Yeah, the thing that surprised me a lot from the trailer, nothing looks like the thing that I was thinking of. Like that whole pitch that I gave you a year ago, I was like, okay, I'm totally on it because I didn't predict nothing of this compared to the trailer. And I'm super excited because it's gonna be like an analysis on people that are superheroes, and it's gonna be like a super meta psychological commentary on it. That's the thing that I'm super interested on.
Yeah, and I'm really curious to know what the twist ending is.
I still think that the twist ending that I pitched a year ago is still gonna be the same one.
Remind me what
Even
that
with
was.
this, Yeah, everything is a dream. Everything is in Sam Jackson's mind in Mr. Glass. All of the unbreakable and
He
splitting
just
glass.
take the comic to like a studio or something.
Yeah,
That would actually be pretty good.
All I
That-
care
Yeah,
about, all I care
because
about is that
his mind is already broken. He's already made of glass. Like he's so
That
delicate.
works. That works so well.
That's how
I
I
can see
pitched
it.
it. That was
You
like
know,
when I said to Troy, the final shot will be him in my pitch, bro. The Beast kills Mr. Glass because the Beast knows that Mr. Glass was responsible of the accident years ago, and his father died in there, and so the Beast kills Mr. Glass, and he's seeing the Beast having a fight with Anna Taylor Joy, and he's dying. And then we go back to the first scene that I pitched, that he's in the madhouse, seeing through a window, seeing Philadelphia, and he cannot move anymore, and he's crying because all of the trilogy was in his mind because he's already insane. His mind, he already has like Alzheimer's and a lot of diseases because his mind is already broken. He's made of glass.
and
So
that
that
could
would
be
be my
a great
ending.
like metaphor for like Stan Lee, like an old man that like has all this like universe in his head. Like it could be like the creator, and like he has. It works. I like that.
Yes.
The one thing I want, and I hope the fuck that he has a cameo. Haley Joel Osment better be in Glass as the character from The Sixth Sense. That's all I care about, because that would
Just
be
as like
great.
a joke or something. Could just
Like,
be
Walking past the
Even-
cemetery.
Yeah, please. Like I just want to know that that kid is in this universe, because then I can just pretend that he's a superhero too.
Well, who knows? M. Night Shyamalan could come out with a surprise sequel to The Sixth Sense, like a couple years down the line.
Oh,
You joke
I have
about
the
that,
theory
but I can
that
see that.
all of these movies, except for Last
Dragon
Airbender,
Ball, or yeah, whatever that was.
The happening
Because-
in there.
yes, the happening
Oh.
is in there. I actually think that After Earth takes place is actually the result of the happening.
Yes.
That
Yes,
maybe
After
just
Earth
made
is
those
still
two
terrible.
movies better. No, but that might make those two movies better. I'm gonna have to watch them back to back and see
Good
if I
luck.
can. Yeah, and see if there's a way that you could tie them together by watching them.
Because think about it.
That would be awesome, though.
Notice how the atmosphere is apparently unbreathable for humans, but the animals they're completely fine.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole point of the happening was that the trees are letting off a toxin that is toxic to humans and makes them kill themselves. But the animals, again, are completely fine.
What? Oh my! I want this to be true. This is awesome.
That's the MCU that I love. The M. Night
Yeah.
Shyamalan Cinematic
I don't
Universe.
even care. You know, I would say the happening, and that's probably better than Iron Man 2.
Well, that doesn't take much.
Well, I'm just saying, like, the worst M. Night Shyamalan is probably still better than the worst Marvel movie.
Yeah, because it's
Like, for
still
me-
creative. It's still going to be
Because it's still
creative.
creative, right? It's not like
Yeah.
a manufactured conveyor belt Hollywood film.
Yeah, like the worst M. Night for me is Lady in the Water.
Is that the one
never
where he
seen
says like his words will save the world? It's like
Yeah.
it's like Shyamalan jerking himself off so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It's
his.
Bryce Dallas Howard being a mermaid.
It's like if George
his
Lucas
vanity
cast himself
project.
as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That would have been cool. Just
Ima-
kidding.
Imagine though, like I don't really know though, because I actually think like M. Night Shyamalan's cameos in the movies are very similar to like Stan Lee's cameos in the Marvel movies, but he actually had a big supporting role in
In the
In
one.
Signs.
Lady in the
Yeah,
in Signs and
Signs
Lady in
is
the Water.
probably I rewatched
What-
it again.
like-
That's probably my favorite.
What
right
if
now.
he actually is the author that changes the world, but he actually like Lady in the Water isn't directly part of the same universe, but he actually is the writer of the entire universe, pretty much, and he's changing his own world in there.
Guys, I want you to promise me something. If I ever become that kind of author, please kick me in the nuts.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah. My size 16 tennis shoes will kick your balls.
Maybe not the tennis shoes, but like...
Okay, so yeah, Glass. Hey, Raul, when does it come out again?
Glass? January 19, I think.
Okay.
Oh, that's going to be so cool to kick the year off with.
Yeah. Isn't there another movie that comes out in January, too, that looked pretty interesting? Hellboy.
Oh, yes. Was that February, maybe? Or was it January?
That's January.
It was January last time I checked, but they haven't released any.
I think they're gonna postpone it because they didn't show any trailers and they haven't even shown anything yet.
Well, there's been like 2 photos, but yeah, nothing after that.
Or just go to Netflix.
Or Mowgli is.
Oh,
yeah, Mowgli. The Andy Serkis. I thought it would. I wanted to see it for the mocap. Like, you just put circus and that in a sentence for me, and he's directing it, so that's gonna be interesting.
I was actually really impressed with the mocap in the trailer because a lot of people didn't like it, but I liked how you could see the actor's face in the animal, like with Christian Bale as Bagheera. That was really impressive. Like, I was like, oh my god, you could totally see Christian Bale in that. However, Baloo looks absolutely terrifying with Andy Serkis's face.
Mm-hmm. So I just pulled up a list here. So these are a bunch of the movies and shit that Raul, have kind of missed talking about. So Nolan, Jason, if you guys have any thoughts or anything about these, just obviously just kick Raul out and talk about them.
Okay.
So let's get into the Mission Impossible franchise because we had whatever it was called come out.
We had a beautiful
Fallout.
Yeah. What did you guys think of
this? I have a controversial opinion on that one, but go ahead.
I really loved Fallout, but I love a lot of the Mission Impossible movies anyway. Like except 2, which is really strange, but even 2 is kind of interesting to watch.
2 is my lowest rated out of them. Yeah.
So it's interesting no matter what.
Well, yeah, I have never seen the first 2 Mission Impossible movies.
Oh, dude, the first one's so good.
I actually haven't seen the first one. I've only seen 2 and on actually.
Oh yeah, you guys have to watch the first one. That's it's like classic 90s, late 90s spy film. Like it's.
I imagine we can talk spoilers for Fallout.
Oh yeah. Well,
yeah.
I love the casting of Henry Cavill as the villain.
Yeah,
he was refused to play Bond, and that's such a meta kind of casting.
Yeah, that doesn't really feel like a spoiler though, because I feel like from the beginning we knew he was going to be the villain. Like that was.
Yeah.
So whenever that twist came around, I was like, it's kind of obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he got a right hook to the face later, so.
Yeah. I thought it was absolutely redemption for Justice League, seeing that performance. I'm happy that a studio gave Henry Cavill a chance because, he's a good, some of the action shit he did in the film, better than anything he's ever done as Superman. I thought the stunts, and I mean, that goes even with Tom Cruise and a lot of the action in the film was fantastic, but
I think he's the best villain in the series since Hoffman.
Yeah, because who was the villain in Protocol?
I actually don't remember any of the villains aside from Hoffman. Really,
I thought that Dubai was the villain in Ghost Protocol.
It was the Sandstorm.
Yeah,
Sandstorms in Dubai are not like that. I grew up, they are not like that at all. And there's something funny that everyone in Dubai was laughing about when Ghost Protocol came out. He runs from the Burj Khalifa all the way into Sharjah, which is an hour away from the Burj Khalifa. And then he runs all the way back to the Khalifa.
That's funny.
Well, it just goes to show how fast that Tom Cruise can run. He's essentially the Flash.
Yeah, no, Fallout.
Tom Cruise is the Flash, confirmed.
I want to see him be Green Lantern, actually. I think that would be awesome.
As an older Hal Jordan, I could totally buy Cruise.
Yeah.
Okay, but no, yeah, so Fallout. I think the performances were all good around the board. The story, I would say, was very, like, it felt more like a classic James Bond film, this Mission Impossible, than, like, a regular Mission Impossible film. Like, it had more of a classic plot to it, which I appreciated. The villain, yeah, Henry Cavill was great. Who was the other, the two other people that played on his side? His boss, what's her name?
Angela Bassett.
So good. Really liked her in it.
Then you have the guy.
Michelle Monaghan too coming back was cool. Yeah, yeah. No, overall,
for me, Fallout was okay. I didn't love it.
Yeah, same. Like the action. I will say this: the action, very phenomenally. It's very well done. A documentary. Phenomenally crafted. Yeah. Like
that bad.
Like I would not ever disrespect the extreme hard work that went into that. Like you could see the practical stunts, just it's beautiful the way it's shot and everything. But I don't love the movie because it feels like the plot is just used to further the action rather than the action further the plot or the story, because that's my problem with most action movies, is that they don't really have that compelling of a story. It's just action that's just action with a very generic
what
plot.
The Mission Impossible movies have always been that, though. They highlight the action as like
that's the reason why those movies don't really work for me, I feel.
I would counter, though. I don't think you necessarily need to have like look at the Raid Redemption, like the first Raid film. That's such a standard plot, and the action progresses. It's like a video game. You go from level 1 to thing. So I think you could if it's done properly, I think you can get away with having a lackluster kind of plot. But
I think my golden standard for an action movie, and I feel like I'm being an asshole for comparing the two, but my like gold standard for an action movie is like something like John Wick or Mad Max Fury Road. Like those two, because both of those movies have really compelling stories and compelling characters that move, like that the action really adds new layers to that. It's not that progressing the action adds more to the story. And also with Mad Max Fury Road, like it's just it really is mostly a basic 2-hour-long car chase, but they have a lot more there along with it. Like there's a lot of character development, and there's a lot of themes of, female empowerment and misogyny and stuff like that.
Yeah, still a lot of people hate that film, though.
I have no idea why.
Yeah.
It's pretty boring.
What?
I love how
boring? No way.
Oh yeah, action. They went left. Oh.
I mean, like, I can't argue with Raul because, like, yeah, I can see his point, but I just think being a filmmaker, watching what George Miller was able to do. I cannot deny it.
My favorite scene in Fury Road, and I will never forget it. It's a beautiful shot movie when they're like in the sandstorm, and the Max is like all like tied into that thing in the car.
What a lovely day! What a lovely day!
Yeah, that sandstorm scene is beautiful. I cannot deny it. But there's no story. There's no characters. It's a Fast and Furious movie approved for the critics. That's Mad Max Fury Road.
I love Raul dropping
You
the
know,
hot takes.
Disagree. Wrong.
I mean, like,
And also with Mission
Yeah.
Impossible, I was waiting for like a big twist. When I was seeing the trailers, I thought that Ethan Hunt will become the villain and
That'd be
Henry
cool.
Cavill will be the new MI6 agent, and they were
That would
gonna
have
leave it
been
in a
that would have been more impressive, I feel.
yeah, because it would have left it on a cliffhanger of Ethan being the villain, and the last movie will be part 7. Henry Cavill needs to kill Ethan Hunt. Ethan Hunt's death, final Mission Impossible, that would have been perfect.
I could actually kind of see that happening because they did do that with John Voight's character in the first one.
Yeah.
It would have been a very nice parallel then.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. But yeah, overall, I
Yeah,
thought
but
Mission Impossible was-
they ruined it of sorry, spoiler alert. They kill
Yeah.
Harry Cavill at the end.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
right.
he got a nice hook to the face.
Oh my god.
That's okay. I just want Ving Rhames to take over the franchise.
Did
Oh.
anyone, when that moment happened, like when the hook went, does anyone else like feel that?
Oh yeah.
Like I cringed when that happened.
The action was pretty good. The thing that got me to just be like gripping my seat though is whenever they're like fighting on the cliff and the remote for the the bomb was just like right there on the edge of the cliff, and they just keep kicking it farther. Just like, damn it, just pick it up.
No, I know Nolan's favorite scene.
Oh,
Yep.
the loading the guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, I'm queer already, but like, I think most straight. I think most straight guys
no,
saw
they
that
went like
and
this.
like, they turned gay.
Yeah, no, yeah. That was Batman versus Superman when he got out of the bath. That's the scene that turned all straight men queer. not the this just added. That was like the cherry on top. It was like, and you had one of the most attractive actresses in the scene with him, and he was still the shine out. So for me,
Troy, if you want to pitch a scene of straight men being going to queer, Henry Cavill on fire on Man of Steel with that body and that.
That's fair.
That's the scene.
With like Henry Cavill, Michael B. Jordan, and well, some people are saying Thanos. What is it with like villains becoming really hot this year?
But why Thanos though? I'm with.
Hey,
like,
excuse me.
Star-Lord
We call him
there.
Daddy Thanos.
I'm with
He's
Star-Lord there. He looks like Grimace, like on steroids.
Hey, but he's
they're also
cute,
doing
Jason.
it with Venom and with Pennywise as well.
Them
Why the
big
hell
daddies.
is Pennywise like a queer icon? Why?
I don't
Why?
know. It's so strange.
Hey, they did it with the Babadook too. Remember?
Oh god.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Bill Skarsgård's attractive, but like, ugh.
Oh,
Thanos.
I'm just here for First Man because I want to see Ryan Gosling on the big screen again because that man can do anything.
Oh yeah, with Daddy Chazelle.
Anyway, I'll be right back. I got to take care of something real quick. But
Oh, yeah, no worries, man. Actually, I was gonna talk now. Let's see. The First Purge. Did you guys watch that?
I did not see
I
that.
liked it.
The First Purge. I thought the First Purge was good. I watched that, and right afterwards, I watched the First Purge. You know, from 2013. I don't like that movie as much anymore.
I've always thought those movies were a little bit too gimmicky for my tastes.
Yeah. Yeah, I
For
agree.
me, I'm a big fan of The Purge. I didn't like the first two, and a lot of people love that one. The one with that guy from Captain America.
Oh yeah.
The
Crossbones.
Purge, the Purge has become more of a meme than a movie series.
Oh, Purge
This
3.
is why it makes so
I
much
want-
money.
Purge 3, I want my candy bar. That's the most compelling character in cinema in the last 20 years.
You think it
Yeah.
will win the popular movie Oscar?
Yes.
No, are you kidding me?
I think that disappointed me in the first Purge. I will change one scene. When they kill Marisa Tomei, a spoiler alert, when they kill her, like she got the big reveal that the Purge was a whole plan to make everybody to kill each other, to end poverty, blah, blah, blah.
That's a twist.
I
Like,
was like,
that's the premise of the whole bloody series.
I know it was the premise, but you know, there's some people that just buy a ticket, they don't know what the hell they're seeing. It's a spoiler.
Meg.
Okay, so that's the thing. Working at a theater all the time now, you should have every fucking showing of the Meg was nearly sold out. I have no idea why people are going to see the Meg. Like, it's fine. It was
The
an
Meg
okay movie.
is awesome.
The Meg is the most boring.
It is so boring. Yes.
Ever watched.
Yes. Oh my god, I agree
They
100%.
probably
It's
just
so
went to it
boring.
because of the concept. Like
The Meg was
concept
also
sounds
becoming
awesome.
a sexual icon as well.
Oh, good
It's got
God.
that side of
Hey, talking about sexual, in my theater, when Jason Statham took his shirt off, a guy said in Spanish, in front of me, papote. I was like, yes! Yes! Like,
Maybe I say this because I'm a huge fan of Jaws, but like, at least some bad shark movies are like entertaining. The Meg,
like
Deep Blue
is,
Sea
how do you make a
good.
how do you make a shark movie boring?
Boring, right? Like, and
Yeah.
like there was that big controversy thing before where it's like, oh yeah, they filmed it with blood and gore and they edited it down for theaters. Where was the where would you put the blood and gore? Because there was no
Eli
action
Roth
in
was
that
originally
film.
supposed to make it.
Was he? Now, see, I would have seen that. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, that's why Jason Statham signed on initially, was because it was supposed to be like a really hardcore R-rated movie that was supposed to be really fun, and then it just ended up being boring.
I've
Jason
accepted
Statham
that
isn't proud of
no
it.
shark movie will ever top Jaws.
Well, it's just like, why hasn't there been any other dinosaur movie?
Yeah, like even as much as I love Fallen Kingdom, no dinosaur movie will ever top Steven Spielberg.
No, but there's only Jurassic World and Jurassic Park. There's no other franchises that are like dinosaur
franchises. There's some
because
Disney
everyone's
dinosaur
too
movies.
Sure, right, but like I think everyone's just too afraid to even try. At least in like with sharks and stuff, people are like Deep Blue Sea's great. Like that movie's fantastic. I would say it's almost as better as maybe
Actually,
better than Jaws.
Here's a pitch for you right here. What if, because Kevin Feige said that we're going to start seeing more female characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Are you telling me we can get Shark Girl and Lava Boy?
No. I was actually going to say Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur.
Ooh.
Isn't she on the runway?
I don't. Maybe she's part of the new incarnation of Runaways in the comics, but she's not in the TV show.
I'm familiar with both those characters, but they sound like super obscure, so I'm down.
Yeah, like that could actually work. I know that Squirrel Girl is actually getting a TV series with the New Warriors.
You know, and I hope it's Anna Kendrick. It better fucking be Anna Kendrick, because she would be perfect as Squirrel Girl.
Didn't they already cast the girl who played
did they cast someone?
I think they got the girl who played Barb to play her.
Oh,
okay.
That works. That works a lot.
Okay.
You know, she looks exactly like the comic book character.
She just had that movie. She just had that movie come out on Netflix too, like Sarah something needs.
Sarah Bridges, a loser.
Yeah, I never watched it.
I know Squirrel Girl was cast at some point, like for a TV show or something. Oh wait, no, it's not. It's not Barb. It's someone called Milana Weintraub. I've no idea who she is.
Oh,
she's
yeah, I've never heard of her name.
30s. I thought Squirrel Girl was meant to be like Peter Parker age.
Well, I enjoyed the Meg because it was ridiculous and fun.
I think I gave it a 70%, just like a standard.
Raul was just turned on by the mech. Let's just be honest.
Right. He's the daddy we
also,
deserve.
Raul, did the Meg kill children?
No, I was so disappointed. That fat kid in that scene at the end, I was surprised that he survived. They didn't even kill the dog. I was like, no, I hate this, but I still enjoy it.
I hate it when dogs die in movies, so like I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Oh, you should watch. This is
Legend.
one of the most ridiculous movies I've ever seen in my life. Zombievers.
Yeah, I've seen the poster for that. I'm never gonna watch it, but I know of it. Zombievers. It's like beavers that turn into zombies. One of the first
victims is the dog because the fucking asshole throws the dog into the water as bait.
I want to kill that guy right now.
This is Raul's favorite movie.
Yeah.
I just looked at a poster and it looks ridiculous.
It is.
Yeah,
it's
right.
From the people. It's if I remember right, it's from the people who worked on We're the Millers and American Pie.
Of course it is.
Holy crap!
Okay.
I need to see it.
Okay. Also, like, since we were kind of talking about Netflix there for a second, I do want to say, have you guys seen the movie Set It Up?
No, I wanted to see it.
Watch it. It's one of the coolest rom-coms to come out the last little bit. Zoe Dutch, so Leah Michelle's daughter, and Glenn Powell's in it. Lucy Liu's in it. Taye Diggs is in it. Such a good rom-com. I won't tell you guys what it's about. It's just fun to watch. Set It Up.
Yeah. Come on, let's do more movies.
Okay, fast round. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Let's talk about that, Nolan. Let's do this.
It was fine.
Man.
Yeah, I'm with Nolan. It was fine.
I gave it
nothing spectacular, just entertaining blockbuster nonsense.
I thought Ghost was really cool. The whole idea that it was like a metaphor for chronic pain, like that's interesting. I wish they delved more into that,
but they didn't take advantage of it.
Yeah, I
kind of there.
There was, I was watching it because my biggest thing going into Ant-Man was like, I was like, okay, we just saw Infinity War. How is Marvel going to, like contrast that to just having a fun, entertaining time? So like I'm sitting there watching it. I enjoyed the fuck out of this movie. I gave it a 90%. I've seen it 7 times now, I think. But
holy crap!
But like, there's one scene, and the one scene, as soon as I saw it, I said, "This is one of Marvel's best films, 100%." When Michael fucking Douglas becomes and puts on the suit, and we see the original Ant-Man and Wasp with Michelle Pfeiffer, and it's just, cool. It's like, for me, it's like, Michael Douglas is a superhero right now. I'm in a theater, Michael Douglas is that's Ant-Man, like, that's I was like, oh my god. So for me, that's why I loved the movie so much. It was like,
the reason, okay, I will give you this. I love that because as a comic book fan, I know that Hank Pym loses his freaking mind at a certain point.
Yeah,
there's actually a scene in the movie where he actually starts losing his mind and actually starts having hallucinations and everything because of him being in the quantum.
Right. Yeah, I just, like, not only that, I thought the plot was fun. I will say my biggest complaint, and I don't know if you guys feel the same about this, if I could recast anything in the film, I would take Walton Goggins out and I would put Hammer from Iron Man 2.
Yeah, I would do that. Walton Goggins was so wasted in the movie.
I love Walton Goggins, but his character did not work.
One thing I will give Ant-Man and the Wasp over anything else, Cassie Lang is freaking adorable. Like,
oh my god,
the relationship between so good. The relationship between the dad.
And that helps because I'm writing a young girl as a character in Moonflower, so I'm like getting inspiration from that.
Even though I was a little disappointed because when I was seeing the movie, I thought that the dust scene would have been him playing with his daughter, and the daughter was like, "Daddy."
Oh, that would have hurt me.
The scene that I wanted to see.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That would hurt.
Well, I agree.
But still, I think that because I feel with him being stuck in the quantum realm and there being like time vortexes and stuff in there, I think he's actually going to be our introduction to Avengers 4, and he's gonna come back years after the whole
Now,
event happens, and then he's going to be wondering, like, what the fuck is going on? And then Cassie Lang is actually older.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I like that.
That's a good theory.
But how about this? There's one thing we know about Avengers 4, scene-wise, is that they go back to New York, and it's the original Avengers film. Right? Loki will be in it. They go back to it. I think it was very on purpose that Michelle Pfeiffer mentioned to Scott that there's a time vortex. I think that was really important.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that Scott Lang will travel back to the original Avengers movie, and that's why they'll try. I think that's one of the reasons they'll try to stop Thanos by stopping Loki even sooner.
So this just turned into Back to the Future.
No,
which is fine.
You know what I just thought, Jason? Remember that random waitress in the original Avengers?
Yeah.
What if that's the daughter?
Yes.
Yeah, but that wouldn't make sense though.
I know it wouldn't make sense, but I was like, what if she, by any kind of reason, she also traveled in time and she got stuck in there?
Man.
I mean, I know. Regardless of what it ends up being, I think we can all agree though, like the time vortex mention in the end, I think that will be used, and I think Ant-Man or Scott will either go forward in time or back in time. I think that's going to be a big part of how.
I think it's going to be a combination of both because Tony's hair is gray. Like it's many, many years in the future where we see Tony at least.
He's definitely dying.
You know, I think they all should die except for the new one. Like the original Avengers will sacrifice themselves for the new people to return, and that's it. Like if they call it Avengers Forever,
I'm hoping they keep Hawkeye around. I'm hoping they keep Clint around.
The only one I
setting up Kate Bishop.
I could see that, or you can even if the dad, if they kill off Hawkeye, they could still introduce her character, but have that like her dad's not here anymore. You know, use that as kind of to build her character. But like, I don't know. I think it would be really interesting to see.
What if at the end they have like a really slowed down piano version of the Avengers theme, and instead of the text "Avengers Return," the Avengers will be remembered?
Oh,
yeah, that's what I think they should do.
Like a Deathly Hallows Part 2 kind of thing.
Yeah, can you imagine? Because like I think I would call it Avengers Forever. Like if you set it around the event, like the people from what we grew to love, the original OG Avengers. Like the only one I can see maybe returning is Thor. I can see maybe them keeping him around because of how popular Ragnarok was, and if they want to continue his story. But like Avengers Forever, have them sacrifice themselves. Have Black Panther, Spider-Man, the new team start with Captain Marvel and have all of them die. I think that would be so like incredible.
Yeah, I personally would love. This is something I've wanted for a really long time. Is for Avengers 4 to end, and we've seen the Soul Realm at the end of Infinity War, where Thanos goes there and sees young Gamora.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure if that's how it would happen, but I so want for Captain America's story to end with him actually getting to have that dance with Peggy.
That's definitely going to happen, and it's going to break everyone's heart.
Like, and the scenery of the Soul Realm is really beautiful as well, with the orange and the, I don't know, like having them dance in that type of setting. It's almost like a sunset kind of. That would
it would be beautiful.
And then 2 months later, the best part is we get Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio.
Yes, motherfucker! I can know Nolan. If there's a way that we can go to the premiere, I'm not taking Raul. Like I'm just saying.
I've actually met Jake Gyllenhaal, so
I know. I hate that. Like,
Well, Troy.
Hey, I'm taking you to Glass. It's okay.
Actually,
that's what I'm thinking. We should January 2019. I'll pull a Morgan. I'll come live with you for a month.
Well, I'm hoping
Ooh.
actually that I will be out in America next year.
This is like after the guest spotlight thing, but it would be awesome if we all got down and we were all in LA. Because do you guys agree? Seeing Raul with all these fucking people going to Disneyland and going to premieres and doing it gets kind of like I'm jealous. So
And I'm going to Horror Nights next month.
How
Fuck
many dicks do
you.
you have to suck?
yeah, and how many can I suck to be in your position? Because $5 is $5, and I don't care.
Nah, everything is credit card, baby.
Hey, if I can get a pass to Disney, I'll do it.
No,
Hey.
with Horror Nights, I'm going to with Late to the Party inviting me. So a lot of us, we're gonna go with Late to the Party and we're gonna record the whole thing.
Awesome. Okay, movies again, just because we did get off sidetrack. I watched Looney Tunes Back in Action, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and Happy Time Murders. So let's talk about those three because that was a marathon I did. Did you guys like Happy Time Murders?
I did not
like
see
that
it.
a lot.
I did
Okay.
not get to see it.
Yeah.
That was actually one of the options yesterday because I don't think I actually said it on the podcast, but that was actually one of the options because yesterday I was having a movie night with my parents and we had options to vote from. There was like Searching, Black Klansman, Happy Time Murders. I showed them the trailers to all of them. And Happy Time Murder was like an instant no because of the end of the trailer with the silly string. And so it was just like, yeah, we're not going to see that one. It's like, I kind of figured. So anyway, so I was kind of left with those two. And we ended up picking Black Klansman. Went to see that
Which
one.
is really good.
Yeah. Black
Everyone just
Klansman
left the
was
theater
really
in
good.
silence after I saw Black Klansman.
Oh,
Everyone left this theater in silence after all three of my
Oh.
showings of Happy Time Murders.
yeah.
Happy Time Murders is incredible. One of the best films of the year.
I like.
I still need to see it.
Also, I like.
Okay,
No,
Looks like my kind of goofy fun. Like,
okay, it's like as long as you you saw the trailer, that's as worst as it gets. That's as worst as it gets. And if anything, it focuses more on the detective plot than the actual humor.
Yes.
Troy, I'm Scottish. I don't mind crass humor.
That's fair.
Oh.
That's fair.
No.
But still, like that was my disappointing though, because like a lot of people were like your parents, they watched the trailer like, oh no, we can't. At least that's the worst that you see. Like they don't go over the top like a Sausage Party ending or something,
Oh god.
Like it's very.
If they would have seen that, they probably would have just collapsed. On
No. Sausage Party. That movie's a
Not a
classic
fan?
for me.
Oh, you're a classic?
Oh yeah, I love that movie.
I've only seen it.
Also, the first time I saw that movie, I was with my parents, and that scene happened, and my parents were totally on board. I was like, "What the fuck is happening?"
Hey, everyone knows Sausage Party was the special movie for me because that's when I met Raul and I got to meet Seth Rogen and Danny McBride and.
Was that at
so
an actual sausage party? Like, has Raul been taking you to his orgies? Like,
Hey, that's a secret. You're not supposed to tell anyone. That's our secret time.
But yeah, Happy Time Murders does seem like a good time. I haven't watched it, but it seems pretty good.
I did see something recently for the first time in years, and
Ooh.
if any of you haven't seen it in years or like haven't seen it in a while, I fell in love with Edward Scissorhands. Like, really.
I've never seen it. Never seen
I haven't
it.
seen
Really,
that movie
Troy?
since I was like.
I'm not a
maybe
Tim
10.
Burton guy.
Watch Edward Scissorhands, you'll change your mind.
How dare you?
Like I've never the only Tim Burton movie I've seen is the stop animated one. He didn't direct.
But are you a fan of The Breakfast Club and like the John Hughes
Well,
stuff?
of course, yeah.
Anthony
haven't
Michael
even
Hall
seen
plays the
Batman?
villain in Edward Scissorhands, and it's so fun.
Oh, okay.
He's like the jock boyfriend, and it's really funny.
Oh, that's cool.
Troy,
I think what's pushed me away though is I'm not a huge Johnny Depp fan. Like that's
He's very
Like,
subdued in Edward Scissorhands.
Okay.
He's not like wacky.
Oh, okay.
He's
at least
not
was
like
my two.
he's not like Jack Sparrow. I got a jar of dirt. I've got a jar of dirt. Guess what's inside it?
Yeah,
No, Troy, at least watch my favorite Tim Burton movie, and it's Sleepy Hollow.
I've never seen that either.
That seems like your kind of movie, Raul.
I
Yes.
Why is a lot of kids die?
Yes.
I think so, actually.
Yeah, there's a 3-year-old
Also,
kid that gets decapitated.
There's a really wacky, just totally bizarre Christopher Walken performance in there.
Yes. I love Sleepy Hollow because I love the characters, I love the gore, and I love the aesthetic of it. It looks like you're there. I love the Emmanuel Lubezki's cinematography. That's one of the first movies, horror movies that I saw in theaters. That's why I love Sleepy Hollow a lot.
Also, like on horror, Edward Scissorhands, Vincent Price's final performance.
Oh shit! Okay, I'll watch it.
Yeah, like for me, like my favorites is Sleepy Hollow, Edward Scissorhands, and Sweeney Todd. Those are like my 3 favorite of Tim Burton's.
The only Tim Burton movie I know I've seen is the one with the big eyes, the painting movie that came out a couple years ago.
Wait.
The only Tim Burton movie I've seen.
Wait, so you have never seen Batman and Batman Returns?
Oh, sorry. Well, yeah, but I don't remember them. Like that was when I was a kid, but I don't remember like all of his like obscure movies. Like even the one about the director, I never saw that.
Ed Wood, you have never seen Ed
no.
Wood?
God, I saw that the other day. It is freaking amazing.
Like I'm saying, like Tim Burton, I've never really watched. Actually, I'm gonna look up his IMDb.
If you like movies where actors play against type, you'll love Edward Scissorhands because like Winona Ryder plays like the princess, like cheerleader.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Michael Hall's the dickish villain, and Johnny Depp's playing like really subdued, and Vincent Price isn't playing evil.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because look, like okay, Frankenweenie I never saw. Pee-wee's Big Adventure I've never seen. Beetlejuice I've seen. Batman I've seen. Edward Scissorhand I haven't. Batman Returns I've seen. Edward I haven't seen. Mars Attack I've seen. That's good. Sleepy Hollow.
I love Mars Attack.
Planet of the Apes I've obviously seen. Big Fish I never saw. Corpse's Bride I never saw. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory I guess I've seen. Alice in the Wonderland I never saw.
Sucks.
Dark Shadows I never saw. Home for the Peculiar Children I never saw. So yeah, there's a bunch of them there that I haven't seen as classic.
If you would have said that you had never seen Beetlejuice, I probably would have reached through the screen and started choking you.
I only saw Beetlejuice very recently for the first time.
I haven't seen it since I was a kid. I definitely forget most of that movie.
Yeah, I've been on like an 80s, 90s binge recently because like I don't know, there's a purity to those kind of movies.
Yeah,
I agree. Also, we should mention because like for films and like I want to talk to Raul about it. And I just remembered next thing we should talk about. Sorry to bother you, but we have to get into it.
I have not seen it yet because the UK refuses to release that and 8th grade.
And also they only had it here for like 1 week, so I didn't get a chance to see it either.
Did neither of you guys know the movie? Like, do you guys haven't had it spoiled for you, right?
I haven't. No. I don't even know that much about it.
Okay, so Raul, let's just simply say everyone should go see it. It's fantastic. It's not what you think.
Yeah, it's a fucking beautiful movie.
Yeah. Like I don't want to say it's so hard to talk about it without saying anything, but like if you liked movies like Swiss Army Man and The Lobster, you would like Sorry to Bother You.
I like Swiss Army Man a lot.
It's a movie that you think it is going away, and it completely goes super insane. It was a total surprise for me. I was totally on board, but when that thing happened in those last 30 minutes, I was like, oh yes, no. It went from here to here. I was like, because I love weird, I was like, oh, hell yes. That's why it's my favorite movie of the year, and I cannot say anything because you haven't seen it. You haven't seen it.
You guys got it. It's not online yet, because I know the VOD is going to be out probably next month.
Yeah.
Soon.
Tessa
It'll be
Thompson,
like a couple months.
the main guy from Get Out, even Armie Hammer and his cameo. The movie was amazing.
I'd let Army hammer me into the ground. That man is hot.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna like that scene at the office with him.
Oh damn! I did see The Nun recently, and that fucking sucked.
Hey,
I have not seen it, but my friend Nate said the same.
Hey,
exact thing.
I like The Nun.
Okay,
I love the director. I love the director Corin Hardy because I saw his first film, The Hallow. Fantastic.
That's good. The Nun is just really boring.
It's a modern day horror film. That's all The Nun is. It's the opposite of Hereditary. Hereditary is like Hereditary.
Speaking of Hereditary,
yeah, I know we won't say anything. Like, just Hereditary is like reminded me of the '70s good horror, like the shots, the production. The Nun is is just a modern day another Bloom. Like it was like a Blumhouse throwaway film for me.
I think I'm gonna make my brother watch Hereditary tonight.
I've seen it. I probably shouldn't have the other day, but I watched it 4 times in a row.
Don't
do that.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not.
do you need help?
Yeah. My problem with Hereditary is a pretty damn slow movie.
Yes.
So it's like The Shining and like Psycho and a lot of that.
But with The Shining and Psycho, it has interesting villains, interesting characters.
Halloween. The original Halloween is quite slow, which I will say, again, a little controversial opinion, even though I think the direction of that film is phenomenal. Yeah. It's a masterclass in suspense. The script is not good.
It's a student film, more or less. It's like the original Saw, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like it was Deborah, like John had like brought Deborah Hill on because he, like, I think it was wise because he didn't know how to write Laurie Strode, you know? So it was like these people built, like you said, it was like James Wan, they went in, it was their first film. I think everything afterwards, their writing got better, but I see what you're saying. But yeah, Hereditary is like, it's not even a horror movie. Like, it's just a film about grief.
It's a drama.
It's blame as well.
Right. And like, there's the one thing, because I want to say one thing that no one has talked about in any reviews, and I think it's a shame. There's one performance in that film that I think is so well done. And yes, Toni Collette's great. Alex Wolff is great. The daughter is great. But the dad in Hereditary has one of the most subtle, like, perfect, old, wise character. Like, just how he portrayed it was perfect. But yeah, everything about
acting in that movie is everything about that movie. And I don't know if you guys have seen this, but have any of you guys seen Ari Aster's short film, The Strange Thing About the Johnsons?
I haven't, but I want that guy to make more movies.
Oh, I know of the guy, but I've never seen that either. No.
Like, give him like an obscure Stephen King novel or something. I bet he'd do something really cool with it.
The thing is like, if you watch his short films plus Hereditary, this guy, he has a knack for really fucked up family dramas. I'm not even joking. Everything that he does is that. Like, I'm not going to get into heavy details of what The Strange Thing About the Johnsons is about, but it delves deep into really disturbing issues like molestation in the family, but with a twist.
Ooh. Okay.
So,
I will say his next film, the reason I'm super excited about it is because of them.
Oh, that's a nice pairing.
Nice pairing, right? Jack, I mean, there's a couple other people in the film that I just don't recognize, but it's about a girl who joins her boyfriend on a summer trip, and things go obviously wrong. Like, that's the pitch. So.
Yeah, but I cannot say I love the ending of Hereditary. It goes super insane.
Yeah, but if you watch Hereditary 2, it's one of those movies that like there's so much stuff sprinkled throughout. The myth of the demon, the para, whatever its name is. Everything is perfectly laid out. It's just so good.
I can't wait to own this one on Blu-ray. Like I could see this becoming a modern classic.
Yeah. It was like I thought The Witch was good. I wanted to like The Witch as much as I like Hereditary.
Yeah, The Witch is.
It's good.
It's a very well technically. It's very well made technically, but it didn't draw me in. I felt like it was so far into like the mythology and the language of that time that anybody who isn't into that kind of stuff, it just totally takes you out of the movie.
Yeah, I agree. Talking about even like obscure indie films, did you guys get to see Upgrade?
Yes.
I haven't seen that yet because once again the UK sucks.
Upgrade was so good.
So good.
The action is flawless in that movie. I love it.
But I love Lee Winnell, so I'm very excited to see it when it comes.
Yeah.
It's like when Venom comes out, I'm gonna do an Upgrade Venom, like double feature, because Upgrade to me was like a great tease for Venom. Like it's a perfect. Like I love this. Lee Winnell. I want to see him do more original sci-fi or horror like films like this. Like Insidious 3 was okay. He was just. I think he was just doing a paycheck at this point for that movie. But Upgrade, you could tell, was a passion project, I guess, and like it was.
He's been working on that for years. It was under the working title STEM for a really long time.
Yeah, so I think it was really good. Logan Marshall Green, really good in that movie too. Like his performance, like I'm like I want to see more of him. He was good in Homecoming. I thought.
You seen Invitation?
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
The girl who directed that, she's really good. I forget her. I blanked her name.
Homecoming.
He was Shocker.
He was the first Shocker before he got incinerated.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Yes.
He's got a character actor vibe to him, so yeah.
Yeah, I thought because for me he looks like discount Tom Hardy.
An Upgrade looks like Venom.
Have they not been? How have Tom Hardy and Logan Marshall Green not been cast as brothers yet?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Also,
worried about like if Venom isn't good. I know news sites are just going to be like, does this mean Into the Spider-Verse is not going to be good?
oh no. Then I think that I skipped. They show us like 6 minutes of Spider-Verse. That movie looks amazing. You don't have to worry.
Good, because I'm a big Miles Morales fan.
And I'm not you know that I haven't read comics. And that movie, I know that you love comics. I was like, oh, Nolan is gonna fucking love this. If I loving it, and I'm not a comic book fan, I know that comic book fans are gonna love it.
I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel about Venom though.
All I know is the trailers have me hooked, and if Schnepp was right, and we have Parker in that movie, I'm gonna freak.
I hope it's great. I'm praying that it's great.
Here's the thing, like I'm with you, Nolan. I mean, I'm a little more excited, but I do feel that the trailers aren't really constructed that well because, like, the dialogue in the trailers seems so
goofy.
Yeah.
Bare bones and like really no inspiration added. But I listen closely, like it feels like just little snippets of dialogue just mashed together to make it sound like one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the trailer kind of comes off very similar to Dread.
Mm-hmm.
Because the marketing for Dread
I would love for this to be like Dread.
Like I saw a teaser trailer yesterday while watching Big Brother, and it was like it's just how it started, seeing the different symbiotes, seeing Riz Ahmed, like his character, I think is going to be awesome. Yeah, I think this movie is going to be like for a Venom fan, because we like. Have you guys read? Well, I know Raul hasn't, but do you guys know the Lethal Protector series and stuff for Venom, like the comics and?
Yeah, I know about.
Like I was just like I was looking through my dad's
San Francisco.
Books. Yeah, I was looking through my dad's book, skimming through like the pages of the Lethal Protector comics. Like if they like can pull off what some of the like even visuals in those books in this film, like I think Venom fans will be very.
Yeah, they already pulled off a few visual homages in the trailer alone. Like there's that one scene in the trailer whenever Riot is pulling Venom's head back, and you see like it being peeled away from Eddie Brock's face, and he's like screaming. That's totally an homage to a comic book cover, actually, with Carnage doing the same exact thing to Venom.
Also, Woody Harrelson is Carnage? Yes, no, maybe? Or is that just a stupid rumor?
I think that's definitely happening.
Because he signed on for more than, like, what, 3 films?
And I predicted that, like, when Tom Hardy was... And Woody Harrelson didn't even have anything to do with it at that time.
Nolan, hopefully you're on the same page as me. Because, like, imagine. Parker shows up. Tom Hardy. Jake Gyllenhaal. Woody Harrelson. Whoever they get to play Doc Ock. Right? Michael Keaton. Sinister Six. Give it to me right now. I need these actors to fight Spider-Man together.
Well, also you have Scorpion, played by I don't know his name, but he's the one that plays Nacho and
Michael Mando.
Call Saul.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like I need it. Also talking about okay, I don't have a good segue here. Just kidding. I saw the Kevin Spacey movie no one saw, Billionaire Boys Club.
That's such a bad title for a new Kevin
Billionaire Boys Club.
A Billionaire Boys Club, huh? Kevin Spacey, what have you been up to?
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
I rewatched Baby Driver, and you know that moment where he says, "I couldn't believe the balls on that kid."
All right, Kevin.
Down, Kevin. We don't want to go there.
I will say the coolest thing about this movie is it had Eggsy and Baby Driver in it. Like they're the 2 main kids.
Oh, Taron Egerton and Ansel Elgort.
And like Taron Egerton and
Ansel Elgort.
Both of them could. Oh, Ansel Elgort is, I'm pretty sure, not human. Like he's like an angel of some sort. Have you guys heard him sing?
Oh
like,
yeah, he's a DJ as well, isn't it?
He does everything. He does everything. I have him on I follow him on Instagram. Like he'll just like message me like he like hanging out with models by poolside, singing like Frank Sinatra. It's like he's living his best life.
Last year, Raul and everyone like at the Odd Shape panel crowd, they were all thinking me because I had a massive crush on Ansel Elgort.
You still have a massive crush on Ansel Elgort.
He is very hot.
Yeah.
Sorry, I also have since I saw him in Falling Our Stars, I was like, yes.
He's so charming in Falling Our Stars.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, watch the original Billionaire Boys.
Not him. In the Falling Our Stars, that bitch deserves to die, not him.
Did you guys watch Breaking In?
I have not even heard of it.
No.
Is that like
I saw it?
That sounds just like a breaking into a house movie.
That's exactly what it is, but with the black mom saving her kids.
Oh, right.
It was fun. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was okay. So I watched the...
Also, 8th grade.
Like they were doing Panic Room in reverse.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, 8th grade. I never got to see it.
I really want to see 8th grade.
It's good.
8th grade was really good. I saw it with Morgan that when he arrived here to LA. Yes.
Stop stealing my boyfriend, Raul.
Yeah, me too. Get your fucking Morgan away from Raul, Nolan.
Oh, we have done so many things, Nolan. So
fuck you. Me and Nolan are going to start a podcast now.
Jason, Raul ships me and Morgan Robinson together. There's a whole episode of this show like dedicated to that.
Yeah.
You know, I just thought it would be really funny.
Also, they're finally gonna meet Jason, and I have been waiting for this moment for 2 years. That I have been shipping them for 2 years.
Interesting.
Nolan, on April Fools next year, let's do it so that Raul and I host It's a Wonderful Life, and you and Morgan host the guest spotlight, and you can have whatever guest you want on.
I'm gonna speak to Morgan about that. That sounds really fun.
That would be really fucking funny.
We had an idea for It's a Wonderful Podcast, like because we always make Shrek references in it. We thought for April Fool's Day we review Shrek.
Yes. oh, Nolan. I think it was like 3 weeks ago. Morgan wanted to see a movie because we went to see Black Klansman again, and he was so dour. I was like, okay, let's watch a movie. And he chose Shrek. Holy crap! Morgan was quoting the movie every single fucking line. I was like, I love Shrek also, but I was like this. Holy crap! I was like,
well, like on 8th grade as
like,
well. Like
5 years ago, if you were to watch Avatar with me, I would be able to do that with Avatar. No joke.
Wow.
My memory is so bad.
Yesterday in Disneyland, in It's a Small World, instead of singing It's a Small World, Morgan was singing the song from Shrek. Do like it. It's a wonder place.
What have you done to
it? No.
Yeah, I want to see 8th grade though.
8th grade was a lot of fun. It felt like a documentary. It felt so real. Yeah, 8th grade was a really good surprise.
I love Bo Burnham, so like I'm excited to see.
And Elsie Fisher is so charming.
Yeah.
Also, another indie movie that I love was Blind Spotting.
That comes out next month for me.
So good. So good.
I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
So Blind Spotting is like my number 2 after Sorry to Bother You. That's how much I love Blind Spotting. That movie is hilarious. It's dramatic. It's really good.
Awesome rap music. Really awesome rap music.
Troy, don't say that rap. Oh my God, that last scene.
Yeah, right? Right?
Yes.
How unique was that? Like, so cool. Also, because you said cool indie films, and since we have Nolan, me and him have to geek out about American Animals because it's so fucking good.
One.
That is like, you know how like heist movies are filmed to be like really glamorous and fun. This one is filming a heist like a fucking horror movie.
Yeah,
and
it's like
so intense.
And not only that, but like it's one of the coolest things when like you're watching a movie and you're like, this is based on a true story. I wonder how the real people would react. And then in the movie, they cut to the actual people. So it's like a documentary live action hybrid. Like it's so fucking
good.
And Evan Peters is great in it.
And the other guy too. What was
Barry Keoghan? I think his name is from Dunkirk.
Yeah, so good. And the scene just when like, without spoilers, no one, but like the scene when like, the scene when in the place and she's all, it's like, that was one of the hardest moments to watch in cinema of this year, easily. Like it was so just disturbing.
Reminded me so much of like Rebel Without a Cause and like the tones of those movies.
Yeah. But anyway, everyone go see that movie because I think it's out on VOD now, so you can watch it.
Yeah, but Blind Spotting, I have a feeling that Blind Spotting is gonna be like the Scene Street of this year. And only a few people saw it, and no, it's not gonna get any praise or any awards praise because that kid, the main star, he should be getting an Oscar nomination. And also that's
like Tate Hicks?
And also that script. That script was really good. It should be best screenplay also.
Yeah. I actually really love Sing Street, by the way.
Sing Street, one of the best.
I love that movie so much.
That's why I'm comparing it with Sing Street, because it feels like it's gonna be a movie that no one saw and it's gonna get forgotten. That's why Blind Spotting was like, oh my God, why I didn't know about this movie before?
No, bro, I think you're totally right.
Yeah, because JT told me we were in a party. I was like, you haven't seen that movie? I was like, no, I haven't seen it. He told me about it, and I was like, okay. And I went to see it like 2 days later, and I was like, holy crap! And I wanted to see it again. They took it off. from the theaters, and I was like, I wanted to see it like 4 more times.
Raul, I'll give you a copy. Because I've seen it twice now. I love it.
Oh my
also,
god!
I want to say another movie that fucking surprised me during our hiatus, The Spy Who Dumped Me. That movie had way better action than it deserved to. Like, I thought that movie was really, really well done.
I didn't even...
I didn't even think I was going to see it.
I didn't.
And it was also gory.
Yeah. Well, the action, like, there was some John Wick moments. Like, that's where I was like, this is not... It's not supposed to have this kind of action in the movie, so it surprised me.
Okay,
I'll give that one
I'm
a shot.
curious now.
Also,
it was a pretty interesting movie. Yeah,
also,
Spy Who Dumped Me. Also, we didn't say a little more about Black Klansman.
Right, that's what I was actually going to go into.
That kid, the Denzel Washington's son, I didn't know he was Denzel's kid until someone told me the day later. I was like, wow.
The whole movie, I'm saying,
exactly
if you close your eyes and you watch it, it's Denzel Washington starring in Black Klansman.
I couldn't tell until I saw it the second time. I was like, why didn't I notice that they have the same voice?
I love all the scenes where they're on the phone to David Duke just fucking with him.
Yes!
I love the last one with them.
Yeah.
He's just like, Ara?
Yes!
I will say, though, can you guys guess what my one flaw of that film is, what I didn't like?
Oh.
It got too preachy at the end. That's all. If it just toned down the preachiness at the end. Everything about that movie I love, except for at the end, I'm like...
I think
it
that
was
scene
building to that through the entire movie. Like, it was building and building to that from the very opening.
That's why I agree with Jason also, because it was building to that.
Sure, but I just feel like they just shove it down your throat at the end.
Like, I'll mention another one of my famous friends that Raul doesn't have. I was talking with my mate Houston Productions about that.
Oh, yes.
And he also feels kind of the same way, but, like, I can also see what Spike Lee was going for with it. Yeah.
Trust me, when the flag goes black and the lights go down and everyone's silent, like, that's what that movie was meant to do, and I think it was perfect. But, like, you know, it's just like it was so obvious. It's like, okay,
I don't know.
Also, I want that afro. Holy crap, that afro.
I want that afro.
That was quite stylish. Yeah.
Also, we should try to see if we can get Houston on this show.
Yeah,
Houston is a very, very interesting person to talk to. Like, I've only talked to him on Twitter, but he's pretty cool.
I did a whole video with him in summer, and it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I definitely don't agree with everything, but you're not supposed to. But, like, some of the way he approaches some arguments, I don't agree with. But
you look kind of like a ginger version of him, to be honest.
Yes, kind of. Yes. And also, we have polar opposite opinions on Batman versus Superman. So there's that.
Also, I was gonna say Netflix released a movie called The Package recently. It's their original kind of comedy. It stars, you know, the Indian kid from the John Cena butt chugging movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
she's the star of it. She's so good. But anyway, the movie is
Blockers.
Right, Blockers. That's what it was called. I was blanking. But this movie, The Package, it's like if us four and like two girls went camping for the weekend, and then one of us cut our penis off.
Holy crap!
Oh god!
Okay, that's all I'm gonna tell you. And it's about trying to get, like, the helicopter comes in and saves him, but they realize the penis is still in the middle of the woods with the group, and they have to bring his penis to the hospital, or he won't have a penis.
I want to see what the pitch meeting for that was.
I need to see that movie now. Holy
it's on
crap.
Netflix. Go watch it. It's really, like, it's funny. It's like a good kind of, it's a standard kind of comedy. I liked it a lot. And like I said, the girls, like, the cast is great. It's like a bunch of no-name kids, but it's good. You should watch it. The plot is great.
I know. I do see what you're saying with the Black Klansman. With the footage at the end and the whole Donald Trump thing. Yeah. I I don't know. I went to see it with my parents, and like they're not really Trump supporters, but they're not on the side of like completely
against
trashing him
right.
a lot.
What state are you in again?
I'm in Oregon.
Oregon, is that more Democrat or more Republican?
I'm actually not sure. I think I'm not really certain on that. My grandparents are Democrat, so I don't know. It's weird, but their opinion on it was like really strange. Like they didn't really say anything because they know I can't stand Trump at all.
Mhm.
I hate his guts entirely, and I think he's a complete imbecile. So
Oregon seems very split. Looking at the well, it's actually more Republican. It has 51 to 49 Democrats.
Because of Black Klansmen, people are going to be talking about that now and not being like as apathetic as they might have been before.
Mm-hmm. And also one thing, my mom, she didn't even know that movie Birth of a Nation existed. She had no idea about that movie. So whenever that scene was brought up and they were talking about the movie and the impact it had, she literally, I could feel her just being confused at that, and she literally looked to me because she knows that I know a lot about movies, and I was just like, I nodded yes, and she just looked back at the screen, total disgust, shock, everything, and I was just like, holy shit,
this is what movies are meant to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know
Adam
also
Driver, by
about
the way, so good.
I didn't know also about the Birth of a Nation. I didn't know nothing, and when I saw it, I was like, "Oh God!" Yeah, but I love Black Klansman, and it totally destroyed me at the end. I was crying a lot. Morgan was waiting for me because he already saw it, and he saw me crying and he hugged me because, oh my God, like that ending destroyed me because of course it's reality. This is reality we're living on, and it's pretty horrible and dark.
And also
yeah, but
how
like,
they,
I think
they
that's
show,
why
they pretty much show that with Donald Trump and his complete idiocy with how he handles certain things, he just gives people like David Duke fuel for their cause.
Yeah,
right. But like, I think that was like that right there. I think is why I didn't like the ending, because it was obvious. It's like it's like this is what it is now. It's like I wasn't surprised. How many times do you look at the news lately and it's like, oh, another cop is shot, another, like there was just a couple days ago the cop that went into the wrong home and shot an African American kid, and he got away with it. It was the wrong home. It was an accident. That's the world we live in. So that's why when I watch it, I'm like, okay, Spike, you told me everything I already knew, but you didn't give me any, I just now know about this story of the hero that is the gentleman that infiltrated the case.
I do feel like the movie is meant to actually, like, of course.
I hope it opens the eyes of people that didn't already realize.
I think that's the point, because also before the movie started, there was a trailer for the new movie, The Hate You Give.
Yeah.
Which I've read the book. It's great.
Which
broke my
mom, I think she actually wants to see it now because because again, she was like totally shocked by that and was like really interested in it. And
I probably won't watch it, to be fair, because it's exactly what I think. Like I know what it's going to be, and I just don't want to put myself through that.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Is it a good book?
It broke my freaking heart.
Okay, so then I'll watch it then. If it's recommended, I will watch it. I didn't realize it was based off of a book.
Well, you know that I like those kind of movies also that make me cry and make me
just like look at the initials and what they say.
That's
ooh.
Yeah, they had that in the trailer too.
What was the one I actually am really curious about coming out is the one directed by the guy who did the show, Greg Galanti. What's that movie he's doing? Has Olivia Cook in it. He did Raul. He did the TV show with Scott, the guy from Heroes, the sad show that makes everyone cry every week.
Oh, Life Itself?
Yeah, Life Itself. I want to see that
Life
movie.
Itself. Yes, that movie looks
Oh,
good.
that
Oscar
movie looks
Isaac,
amazing.
Olivia
That's
Wilde.
the sad movie that I'm gonna put myself through this year, I think, because that one's gonna be.
I have tickets for the premiere on Thursday.
Of course you do.
Oh, damn you, Raul.
I watch a lot of sad movies because like they
Same.
kind of inspire me writing wise a lot.
Yeah.
Me and my
There's
sister.
Beautiful Boy and
we
Boy
saw
Erased that are coming out as well.
Beautiful
that
Boy, I'm
trailer
excited
for Life
for.
Itself.
I actually haven't, because I just heard about it again recently, but I haven't seen The Boy with the Striped Pajamas.
Ooh, I want to see that one.
That's actually a movie that I may watch this week because
Yeah,
I
it's
heard
cool.
about it again.
That's
I
good.
recommend
feel like
reading
I'm
the
going to
book
be
as well.
devastated by the end.
Yeah, I think with all of these very politically driven films coming out, it's like any other year. I just hope that it gives the people that are fucking stupid and don't realize that the world is evil. It opens their eyes to see that as long as you put the effort in to make yourself in a positive and just nice person, that it just helps a little bit. And that's what I hope these films do, even though they're not things that I'm rushing us to the theater to see.
One thing I do love about Black Klansman, though, is that it tries its hardest to not have a completely biased point of view. Obviously it shows the KKK as just being completely horrid people. I like that freaking the wife of that one guy. She
God,
a sweet voice, but everything that came out of her mouth was just completely vile and horrid, and it was.
She reminded me of Nurse Ratched, like the amount of hate that you had for Nurse Ratched in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. She's just a despicable character, one of the worst.
But the great sense of irony and poetic justice whenever that scene with the C4.
Yes!
Oh my God, I almost stood up and cheered when that scene happened because it's just parked right next to the car where the C4 has been planted. Boop.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Honestly, the cop might as well have just stood up at that point, walked away going, yeah, I'm fucking sick. I'm fucking sick.
No, Black Klansman was great.
No, when I saw the trailer for Life Itself last week, me and my sister was like, oh my God, I imagine they're gonna do like a scene with Milo Ventimiglia from Heroes, and this is part of This Is a Cinematic Universe. I'm like, yes.
I've been watching This Is Us recently, and it's so fucking good.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Like almost every episode has me crying at the end. It's
just, This Is Us is an amazing show.
You know what show I just actually finished, Raul?
Which one?
The Sacha Baron Cohen, Who is America?
I've heard a lot of things about that.
Oh my God, I saw the sample episode with the whole gun thing.
You have no idea, man. That's why I think Jason, if you know about, I'm assuming since you're in Oregon, you know about the your governors and stuff. They absolutely. I don't think any from Oregon. It was mostly Texas, but he does so good at shitting on the Republicans, Democrats, and everyone in the middle, and just showing how you guys are all just fucking ridiculous. It's great.
Yes, I really loved that one though with him and him just
the guns,
the kitty guns that he was bringing up. Hey, here's
I will say,
unicorn gun.
If you guys like watching people be uncomfortable, watch the last episode of the show. He has an interview with O.J. Simpson. Now, when I got pitched this, and I'm like, Sacha Baron Cohen has a 2018 interview with O.J. Simpson. I'm like, he's not going to mention anything about, I'm sure he's going to. The entire fucking interview is him saying, how did you kill her? What did you do? It was so fucking funny because O.J. Simpson's sitting there so awkward, just laughing at it all. But Sasha's like, oh, you lady killer. And just the comments and stuff he made, it is so fucking funny. So you should watch it just for that.
Whoa.
Whilst we're on the topic of TV shows that came out, I just found out now YouTube Red's been kind of killing it.
Right?
With
Well, I
Cobra
mean,
Kai.
Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai is
Cobra Kai.
fantastic.
And I just found out there's now a Step Up YouTube TV show that's very good.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Interesting.
I haven't seen any new TV shows. Like I finished
The last new
Riverdale
one I
season
watched
2.
was Disenchantment.
Oh, that
I
was
saw
good.
the first episode of Disenchantment, and that's a show that I will finish it because it was a little interesting.
It was good.
better.
I thought it was
It's
good. I
better.
just, I thought it's a good show to watch while you do something. Like
Also,
when I was cleaning my house, I turned it on.
Mhm.
It was
I
good.
rewatched Gravity Falls with Morgan, and
course.
Morgan loved it.
Oh, I would have loved it.
And I won't spoil the ending of season 1, but my God, it left me heartbroken and just
Ooh.
pissed off and wanting a season 2. Like it just the way it ends, I won't say, but it's heartbreaking.
Oh, Raul, I was gonna ask, did you ever see the "Won't You Be My Neighbor"
No, I
documentary?
have never seen it.
I watched it. It's
Uh-huh.
okay. I mean,
Well, I have never seen Mr. Rogers, so that's why I haven't seen the documentary because I was
That
never
was
a
pretty good.
fan or never saw the show.
Mr. Rogers was never really that big in the UK either, so like that's not getting released here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't really know that much about Mr. Rogers, but the documentary actually was really damn good whenever you actually really got into the stuff that he did.
you just realize that, like, it's one of those movies that I would, like, if you just have a lack of hope for society and, like, just people, which I do, watch this movie because you realize that there are just genuinely really good people out there, and they're hard to see, but, like, there are people that just
Really
want to
care.
help. Right, yeah. So it was good. You know, I was never huge into Mr. Rogers either, but the documentary was cool. And then I also watched this movie called Summer of '84. This was an indie horror movie that came out actually this past month.
Huh.
Have you guys heard of it?
I'm watching
No.
it now just from the title.
It is like, well, it's the very standard Stranger Things type setup, right? Bunch of group of teenagers, but they realize a serial killer might live next door.
Ooh.
Probably one of the best soundtracks of the year. This like the Neon Demon, The Guest, It Follows. I would put the soundtrack in with that, like really, really cool 80s synth. And it's just a fun, like, 80s clash, horror about a serial killer, which is really interesting.
Oh, also, another of my favorite movies since the hiatus, Searching.
Yes.
I need to see
So-
Search.
Searching was a
Inventive.
motherfucking surprise.
When even Adam for Your Movie Sucks loves it, you need to see it.
Yeah, right? It's inventive, it's creative. John Cho is so good. So good.
Deborah Messing was amazing also. That actress, also the kid.
Yes. I will say, though, I didn't like the ending. Raul, there's this... Okay, wait. It was needed. I think it wraps up the film well. But let me see if I can get you to understand this without spoiling it for the other two.
You wanted
it's
a
coming-
me ending.
Well, like when it opens...
I know.
Right, yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, like, other than that, I thought it was a really good... And, like, the fact that it was all done... Like, the beginning of the film is, like, the Windows startup. Like, it's so cool. And the best scene in the film is, if you guys were in school like I did, there's this part where the kid is playing addictive games on the computer. And it's, like, a website that I used to go on when I was a kid to play stupid-ass games all the time. But there's little kind of Easter eggs throughout, but it's really good.
Yeah. The thing, like, for me, I get your point without even spoiling it. Like,
Right.
I was like, oh, I thought we're gonna go like to a crazy ending or something. But the thing that Searching is so well done is telling that story through the computer. It's like that Merle said, and I was like, it feels like you're also investigating this case.
Mhm.
It's pretty like it's like you're playing a video game. That's the thing that I love from Searching. And not only that, like from John Cho, he's like 90% of the movie.
He's a great actor. Like I loved him in the new
Mhm.
Star Treks.
Yeah, and also I got to go to the premiere of Searching. I
course.
saw John Cho. Uh, I got to take a photo with the girl and the director of Searching, and that's when I met Ryan Coogler.
Meeting.
He was at the premiere.
We're gonna get on one of these shows one weekend. They'll be like, "Oh, guys, by the way, I met Steven Spielberg the other day."
Oh my God! Yes.
I just don't understand how we haven't had these people on our podcast, because clearly you were in the same room as these people and you had access to asking them if Ryan Coogler could be on the show, and he's not. So
Oh,
if you meet Timothy Chalamet, I am demanding a Google Hangout immediately.
oh, you want
Preferably
Timothy
nude.
Chalamet shirtless? That's the thing that you want.
I want
If
Timothy
he-
Chalamet nude, not shirtless.
if we ever have him on the podcast, I won't have clothes on when we interview him. I won't.
That man is a beautiful specimen.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking.
Yes,
like,
I know that you love Timothy Chalamet more than Morgan.
Morgan's way of
Well-
describing Timothy Chalamet is hilarious.
Well, why don't let's kind of go around. We'll talk about and kind of wrap up some of the other kind of films and shit that we wanted to talk about, because I have one more that I kind of want to pitch to you guys, because I don't think you know and have heard of it. So we'll start with Jason. What were kind of some of the things I guess you're also working on, some other movies you wanted to kind of mention before we wrap up today's
I'll
episode?
first bring up a movie that I have seen recently that I ended up loving and ended up being in my top 20 of the year. I don't have a full 20 yet, but that's what's going to be at the end of the year. Imitation Girl, written and directed by Natasha Kermani and starring Lauren Ashley Carter. It's a very small indie movie. It had a little bit of buzz at film festivals. I really dug it. It's probably not for you if you're not into really slow art house movies, but there's a lot of very interesting things with fractal imagery and Lauren Ashley Carter giving two different performances.
Wow.
The movie is actually about an alien coming to Earth and taking the form of a porn star. It's not as racy as it sounds. It's very elegant in the way it does things. And the actual porn star is actually becoming fed up with her career because she feels like she's wasted her life on that whenever she has ambitions to do much more. She actually wanted to be a musician.
That's really interesting.
So the movie is actually kind of showing two different sides. Her jaded side being the porn star, and the alien is supposed to kind of represent her innocence in a way. Like if she had never done that, she would have been this more innocent person. And then like the pieces start coming together, and by the end of the movie, which I won't spoil, the ending of the film is really confusing at first, but it's freaking beautiful. It's a beautiful ending that is kind of somewhat disturbing, but it's really beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I just looked it up, and it has an hour and 24-minute runtime, which I love.
Yeah, it's also on Amazon Prime. So.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Okay.
All right, it's on my watch list.
But anyway, aside from that, yeah, I'm working on bringing my YouTube channel back in full, because I've been really neglecting it. Even in my comeback, I've only done like really lame update videos that go nowhere. But it's changing. Next month, I'm not gonna say what it is I'm working on, but I am bringing video essays back, and they aren't gonna be what they used to be. They're going to be way more planned out and much more organized than they were before, whenever I just kind of threw on a microphone and did stuff. Also, I talked to Troy about this. I am working on a little bigger project right now.
It's really good. I've read it.
Yeah.
It's really good.
all I'll say is that my search for finding my first feature has kind of been completed now. I found what I'm going to be working on, and the project is something very personal, something that a lot of filmmakers trying to find their start are going to find very relatable. So that's all I'm going to say. It's going to be something. It's something that most filmmakers have struggled through whenever trying to make their first movie, and that's the plot of the film, essentially.
Yeah, I read it. It was very, very well done. I want to see the visual. Like, I'm excited to see it get put together. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm working on. So
hey, yeah, I'm excited. And like I said, anytime you got to get Raul on your Doombox podcast.
Yes, I do. I do need to get him on there.
Yeah, you need my weirdness.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't want to share your weirdness, Raul. They're all mine.
I am trying to figure out when to get, like, I'm trying to get Nolan on,
which will happen. I hope it does.
Yes, we're hoping to do that very soon. So
awesome. Oh, it's awesome to hear. And then Nolan, I know you have a bunch of shit that you've been a busy guy.
This was kind of awesome. Like, so I went away to Cyprus and I didn't take my laptop with me because I didn't want any distractions. But then got a little email from my phone 4 a.m. in the morning while I was out smoking a cigarette. My dream agent sent me a revised resubmit letter for Moonflower, which usually is a sign that they definitely want to work with you. And like,
that's like huge, man. That's so awesome.
And she loved the themes I was doing with Moonflower and all the story stuff, but she gave me a suggestion, like, take the fantasy world element out of it, like the going away to a fantasy thing, like, you know, like Neverland or something like that. Why don't you have the fantasy characters come into the main character's world and they go on like a little adventure through London? So it's like a road trip sort of thing. And you can see how 80s London would play into her character being gay and stuff. And that's when you know, like, this agent completely gets what I'm trying to do with Moonflower and she wants to make it better. So I've just been working hard on rewriting that, adapting it to the new setting, and actually improving Moonflower a bit as a villain. Like, I thought, like, in my original draft, she never really did anything heroic. She was just kind of a really narcissistic kind of hero, but she never did heroic stuff. So it's probably going to be more tragic in that way when she eventually becomes evil. But, like, I've struggled a lot with this over summer as well, like, especially from straight writers who tell me that you're not writing a gay character correctly. Because I'm not writing her as being, like, miserable that she's gay.
Or coming out of the closet story or anything like that. That's like...
Yeah, and I mean,
so
like...
generic, though. Like, we've seen and read that so many times.
I mean, Millie does have that as part of her story, but it's really more about her embracing the real world and to stop living her life through stories.
Yeah.
And, like, you get that with... You guys know, like, the basic story. She wishes for Moonflower to come to life. Moonflower finds out she's fictional, and she's not very happy about that, and then she turns evil. So I've just been working on that really heavily, watching a lot of 80s movies to get a vibe for it, and it's becoming so much better, and I'm hoping to have it finished maybe by November or something, and send it out. Fingers crossed.
Whenever you have a link, I will be buying that. So fucking fast.
And then we're gonna get the movie on 2021.
Yeah, and there's another story that I've been working on for years that I finally found a way to make interesting. Raul knows about it. It was called I'm No Superman, like way back in the day. It's just a kid who got superpowers in England and that. So because you don't have a lot of British superheroes nowadays.
Right.
So I thought, what if I added
Yeah, I added a new villain to it to kind of represent how social media is, to like how scary that can be for a teenager.
Oh.
So I thought, like, what if you have this guy who's kind of like a social media star, and it could be like Tom Holland or something like that, someone who you don't expect to be a dick, and is like
Logan Paul.
Yeah, like a Logan Paul-esque guy, and be like,
let's get Logan Paul to be him.
and he just goes to this hero like, I'm gonna make your image great, and we're gonna take down this villain together, but he's really got ulterior motives for it, and he's actually a bit of a dick. And it's exactly, and Raul, since you've seen it, it's a kind of like Anthony Michael Hall and Edward Scissorhands.
Mm-hmm.
And
that sounds awesome.
And it actually works more with the I'm No Superman title, because like on social media, everyone nowadays expects you to be a saint and to never make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really excited to explore that angle. And aside from that, I've been doing more stories as lessons because I've got to pay the bills somehow. Just did one on Edward Scissorhands. I'm planning to do one maybe on Spider-Man PS4 a bit, which I've been playing for the last 2 days, and I've been losing most of my life to it. It's a great game.
I'd rather you lose your life to Spider-Man than heroin. So,
yeah, that's true.
And also a little update. I've been enjoying the sweet, sweet taste of cinnamon-flavored vape.
7 flavors?
Cinnamon flavor.
Oh, cinnamon. I was like, cinnamon. Ooh, that's rough, man. Cinnamon?
It's like smoking an apple pie.
Why would you want to smoke an apple pie?
I don't know, but like the flavors I've had are so weird. But you can't get like sugary ones because the liquid gets really hot and it spits at you. But
we have a place out here, like in Canada. It was just like a vape shop I went to. There was like 936 different flavors.
There's a lot of weird ones, but like I'll say this:
like human flesh and like dog shit, just random shit. Could you imagine that?
What? Oh my god, that sounds terrible.
Like, what I want for Moonflower to do is to show that queer kids and stories can just go on adventures as well, like any other kid. Like, why can't they have a story like a Harry Potter or like become a superhero and fight bad guys?
Because they're gay, Nolan. That's why.
I hate that, and fuck it. I want to change that.
See, the thing is like, I think it's honestly, it's devastating that we live in a world that it's just not already accepted, and that it's not like the fact that we have to like you said, someone like yourself is putting in the effort to make it so that this is more accepted. Like, it's just insane to me. So I'm happy and I'm proud to be a friend with you and have someone that like
we just now got a mainstream like coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Love Simon, right?
Love Simon,
which I think is very cute. It's a fun movie.
It is. It's a very, very good movie, and it's insane. Like, it's taken us this long to just get our first mainstream teen movie that has a gay lead. Like, really? It took us this long?
Something that's not an art house film and is not like one of those, here's a straight writer or director trying to take a gay person's story and win an Oscar because of it.
Yeah.
Like, I hate that stuff, and I want to show that gay characters are more than their sexuality, because if someone looks at my story and sees, oh, Millie's the gay kid, then I've written it wrong. So they should see her as like a nerdy sort of outcast.
Yeah.
Yes. Again, like
stories.
And it's the same thing because we had this big thing recently with Scarlett Johansson and the whole transgender role situation. That's been my biggest problem with like the movie The Danish Girl. Watching that movie, if you aren't already accepting of trans individuals, you're not going to be by the time that movie ends, because it comes off more as like there's many scenes that are just really fucking weird.
Can I ask a question?
Come off more as like
I don't even watch it.
Like, it comes off more as just like a really socially awkward dude who is obsessed with women and wants to be one.
Right.
It's like
now, here's my question. where does acting stop then?
I think
because I think it's very important for like to have the diversity and the representation of having trans actors playing trans roles. But I personally think it's silly to suggest that an actor couldn't play someone that is trans.
I think it's more about giving those actors the opportunities they don't usually get.
Yes,
true.
I agree with.
But
I agree with you, and I think
it's finding the balance. I think is what's important.
Yes, that's what I think as well. Because here's what I think: if your character is someone who is technically not yet out as trans and is still living as their assigned gender or whatever, then yes, you would need someone who hadn't already transitioned and is
because you want to
cisgender.
It's touchy because like
that role because.
But that was my question. It's like
don't want to force an actual trans person to detransition just for a role. That just seems cruel. But
right.
That'd be awkward.
Could you wait a minute? That's so fucking Hollywood though. To go up to like be like, hey, so like we want to cast you, but can you go through the surgery again and then we can like have you.
That's something I imagine Bob Iger would do.
Well, he has the money to pay for it. But no, like anyway, that was just the question I had because that's been a very much of a topic lately, right? Of people saying, well, like, you know, and it's gone the whole way with like, look at just even blackface and actors that used to do shit like that, and like when like what's his name was Asian in that one film, Brando, right? It's like it's like
John Wayne too.
Yeah, right. So it's like I feel like we are like it's in my opinion a perfect world is that like the people that are in your film are what are in your film. You know, like if you're writing a character, like for example, like for Moonflower, right, Nolan? If I were to cast that, I would cast a young girl who's queer, right? Like someone that is that. I wouldn't like that's what Hollywood and casting agents should be looking for, and putting those actors apart, or making those actors a part of the character, not just making the actor try to assimilate into the character, but like find the best match. And I think that's the problem. I mean, but I don't think we should shun actors for.
That's what they did with Robert Downey Jr. and Tony Stark. So why can't they do that with?
Right, exactly, right. Like Tom Holland is the perfect Spider-Man, but like that's what I want to see. Just like that's why I didn't really like Crazy Rich Asians, because I personally thought it felt like stereotypes of character, even though it is like you were saying, if the tone of the skin felt more of a gimmick than just having a natural original film set with Asian actors, right? Yeah. So I don't know. It's that topic that Hollywood has been talking about lately, and it's just intriguing to see where it goes, because it's obviously in the forefront right now.
And also,
once they get the same opportunities as regular actors, I think then they start to get more of a balance.
Exactly, like because if you watch that, because I actually started watching this recently, Sense8, Jamie Clayton is fucking phenomenal in that.
Oh yeah, and the Wachowskis are transgender as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like Tangerine. Tangerine's one of the best films I've seen in a year. Like that movie is so good.
Yeah, and shot entirely on an iPhone, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
That's the guy that did the project, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should watch that.
Florida Project was good. But no, so yeah, I mean, I'm so excited. I'm so happy for you, Nolan, that you were able to get that right. Like 4 o'clock in the morning. I've had a 4 o'clock in the morning smoke. I have to go get fucking emails from people like that. I couldn't imagine how you felt. But like, I'm really happy for you, man.
At first, I was like, oh shit, I really don't want to change this stuff. But then you start sort of marinating it and thinking like, oh fuck, this will actually make it better.
Yeah.
So
which is like also very lucky, because you do get those people that are like, they'll suggest like the worst fucking shit.
Oh,
you know. So I'm glad that it was like, you know. So
I had some people suggest at the end, oh, you should have Moonflower redeem herself, and I'm like, no, the whole point is that she becomes fucking evil.
Wait, so like I
This is
love your
not a Disney
idea,
movie.
but instead of doing your idea, you should just do my idea instead.
Yeah.
It's like,
and
no,
also,
the point
also Millie should have a boy love interest.
What?
I'm like, no, she likes the girl next door who's like really cool and stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. But no, and then how about podcast wise, video wise, anything else, Nolan, that you have coming on the next little bit?
Me and Morgan are just going to get back into It's a Wonderful Podcast. We're going to be talking about War of the Worlds and Sunset Boulevard in the coming couple of weeks.
I don't know what Sunset Boulevard is.
The original,
so that's why I'm
the
excited.
original
So I'll have to watch
War of the Worlds,
Oh,
like
that's
the
awesome.
one from the 50s. And
I don't think I've ever seen it.
I do think we've got a couple guests coming on. Brandon Hanna, I think, who was on the show, is going to be coming on to talk about the
My
Wolfman.
replacement.
Brandon's gonna get invited first than me.
We know. I know we're definitely planning to have you on at some point, Raul. But for a certain movie that you know what it is,
I know.
we're waiting a while before we do that. I don't know. You'd have to ask Morgan about it. But video wise, I really want to do one on Big because that Shazam trailer just got me so excited.
Yes.
And I ordered Big off eBay when I got my Patreon money because I use that to like get the movie so I can look at the footage and make more videos and stuff. And by the way, eBay, great for getting Blu-rays. I've gotten so many for like such cheap deals.
Yeah.
eBay's perfect for Blu-rays. I agree.
Also, speaking of, because you brought up Shazam, and whenever we were on the topic of queer characters in movies and entertainment, that they don't focus on that specific aspect too much. It's just kind of a part of who they are. And just make them a cool character. Well, Birds of Prey that's coming out actually has Renee Montoya, who is actually
I heard about this.
And also Harley Quinn
Batgirl.
is bisexual, I believe, and they might play on that. I don't know.
But is for the CW when Batgirl shows up, is that actress? And I know they're making Batgirl lesbian and show.
Batwoman, yeah.
Yeah,
or Batwoman, whatever it is.
She will be. Greg Berlanti's behind the whole CW verse. She'll definitely be a LGBT character.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And also with a Batgirl movie coming out, there is a character in the New 52 Batgirl, I believe, that was Barbara Gordon's
The transgender roommate? Yeah.
transgender. They might do that too.
I hope so, because I love Batgirl. Like, that comic run. If you haven't read Gail Simone's Batgirl arc or anything after that, you should. Some of the best storytelling I've seen.
Oh, that's awesome. And Raul, how about your incredible life? What do you have coming up? I haven't really talked to you in the last little bit.
Well, I'm having a dinner with George Lucas on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
An orgy with Steven Spielberg on Monday.
Then I'm going to be seeing Avengers 4 on Tuesday with the cast. Special preview. Oh, and then that morning I'm going to be going to the Modown and hanging with all my new friends.
Yeah, and also smoking a joint with Jason Blum and Elon Musk. So I'm super busy.
If you're smoking a joint with Jason Blum, can you tell him to immediately greenlight a new Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yes.
And ask him to hire me?
Just get Troy to be Freddy.
Hire me.
Wait. I'll be right back. You keep talking.
Oh, God.
Oh, he's getting a
now?
Freddy glove, isn't he?
What now? What could he possibly be doing?
Yeah, if he's going to be Freddy, I want to be one of the victims.
Well, hey, I would be totally willing to write and direct that, because I actually have some stylistic ideas for Nightmare on Elm Street. Because I feel like the last one had no style whatsoever. It was just way too... Jesus Christ!
I can't really hear you.
Who invited my ex-girlfriend to this thing?
Okay, for the rest of the end of the show, I'm going to be Freddy Krueger.
Oh, also talking about rumors that I have heard, because I have some people that give me scoops. I heard that Blumhouse is trying to acquire the rights for Scream. It's a rumor.
Ooh, I would be down for that. I really want to see. I want to see Sidney Loomis in that return.
I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like Scream 4 was the perfect way to end it.
Yeah, me
because-
too. When I heard that rumor, I was like, yeah, but we don't longer have Wes Craven.
Isn't that Scream TV show still coming as well?
Yeah.
With the
Yeah, it's a
rebooted cast?
reboot.
The
It's
Scream
a
show's good
reboot.
though.
Yeah. It's a total reboot now with Queen Latifah as a producer, and that cast looks amazing.
Yeah, it's just I really wanted to see the ending of that series though, like because they set it up perfectly.
I know. I'm also angry that they didn't do like a proper ending.
And I really like the TV show's Ghostface mask. Like,
Yeah.
it looks scary as fuck.
I tried getting into that. Maybe I'll try again, but whenever I watched the first episode, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. But I might go
Bella
back
Thorne
and
is
watch
here
it.
being a dick, and I know Bella Thorne is being a sweet, innocent girl on Shake It Up. I watched that with my little cousin, not because I watch it myself.
Oh.
But, I feel like in the movies specifically, 4 was the perfect way to end it because the first one was really a commentary on how ridiculous slasher films had become and how they're no longer scary anymore, and they have all these tropes. The sequels, like Scream 2 and Scream 3, essentially saying, well, we've overblown these movies with so many sequels now, it's just gotten stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, I've just realized Scream 5 is going to do what Get Out did.
Oh, okay. And then, like, the fourth one is, like, pretty much a commentary on the horror remake trend of the 2000s.
Yep.
And they even, if you notice, because Neve Campbell's character, Sidney Prescott, she's kind of a parallel to Laurie Strode of Halloween, almost.
Yep.
And the final girl trope. But also, her niece, was it, in Scream 4, played by Emma Roberts,
Yes.
was kind of a parallel to her throughout the entire film until it was revealed at the end that she was freaking psychopath. Which I think was kind of a jab at Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, with how they kind of turned Laurie Strode into that. So I don't know. I feel like Scream 4 was the perfect way to end it because they showed the pure ridiculousness of the remake and reboot trend with them trying to be so edgy and everything, and it just completely falling flat.
No, if they do a new one, it would, like, it should parody the indie horror thing that that's happened the last 5 years. Because all the
don't have Ghostface show up to like the final scene.
give it to the guy who, like, Hereditary, like, get him to direct Scream 5. Give some, like, random
Ghostface becomes like a demon.
No, he's just like starts a cult.
Yeah, it actually could be like a commentary on the new trend in, like, supernatural horror that's become a thing, because slasher horror kind of died out.
Yeah, or Ghostface is just having a hard time actually murdering because there's a new threat.
Just Pennywise shows up. Like,
my God.
But yeah, no. Anyway, thank you guys so much. I wanted to mention that that Raul and I are going to be starting to do these a lot more. Now that our schedules are kind of free up, I got promoted at work, and it's just fucking crazy. So I'm so thankful for you guys joining us. Raul, was there any things we have coming up soon, or just kind of the standard podcast?
Man,
you still have to... We'll talk. We'll talk. We have some things brewing. But in the meanwhile, I have some music and some maybe a couple short films that I have maybe almost finished that I haven't told anyone about that I'm excited about. So, yeah, thank you everyone. But let's call that an episode. So bye everyone. Bye.
Bye.